Morning. Here we go.
Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale, Coral Gables, and downtown Miami.
Here we go.
1-855 FLA 3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888.
That's the number. All right. Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It is Thursday, the 6th of February, 2020. You are listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America. You are listening to the longest-running show in the state of Florida on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We are live in Morning Drive Monday through Friday with overnight rebroadcast 7 nights a week. We broadcast on 3 FM radio stations and an AM radio station as well here in Florida. And I'll go through those stations real quick, and then we're going to jump into it. We are live on the air on our flagship AM station, 1470 AM. You can listen to us on the FM dial at 95.3 FM, 103.9 FM, and 96.9 FM. You can also listen to us on the iHeartRadio app and the TuneIn app, searching for us by our station call letters, WWNN, that's 2 W's and 2 N's, and watch us live stream in high definition on my YouTube channel, Brian Craig, on the YouTube. And man, oh yeah, and by the way, weekdays, Monday through Friday, we are on the air midnight until 9 a.m., midnight till 9 a.m. weekdays. That's amazing, isn't it? Overnights on the weekends, midnight till 6. All right, now I'm going to make a bold prediction here. And I'm going to put this out on the air. I want to get this out early. I'm not going to build up to it. I'm just going to say it. And I want to take your calls on this. Mitt Romney has a plan. Mitt Romney has a plan, and it is a plan to become the president of the United States in the 2020 election cycle. And I'm here to tell you that Mitt Romney has a plan, and he's made his move. Mitt Romney's move is to become a Democrat, to switch to the Democrat Party, go to the convention, and make a run for the Democrat nomination. Now, that's what I believe is Mitt Romney's plan. I'll give you details on what led me to this conclusion, including something I found this morning about Mitt Romney that I've never seen before. I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. But, yeah, okay, so here is Mitt Romney's plan. Mitt Romney's plan is to switch parties. You know, members of the Senate and the House have switched parties while in office. It's happened before. Mitt Romney's plan is to switch parties to become a Democrat and win the presidency in 2020. He thinks he can get that Democrat nomination. I know that sounds crazy, but Mitt Romney is not a sane person. Mitt Romney is a pathetic little man. He may be tall, he may have nice hair, he may have $250 million, but he is a petty, pathetic, sad man who's in the Senate for one reason and one reason only: to get even with Trump. Now, I'm not telling you that this is going to work. I'm talking about Mitt Romney here. So when I talk about Mitt Romney, I'm talking about someone who is not rational. I'm talking about the plan of a crazy man, a pathetic, insecure, petty man who is insane when I talk about Mitt Romney. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Now, I'll give you some details about this. But this morning, I came across a piece of audio, which I'm going to play for you in just a moment. The audio is sometime between 1990 and 93. I don't have the exact date on it, but it's very high-quality video. I pulled the audio off of it. And this is a piece of video that I have never seen before of Mitt Romney. It is, and when I say I've never seen it before, I'm talking about in the heat of his run against Barack Obama, I never saw this. And I promise you, most of you have never seen this. And this piece of audio that I'm going to share with you would have stopped him from getting the nomination back in 2012. He would not have won the nomination if this had been public. And you got to ask yourself, how did this piece of video never become public that I'm going to share with you? And why is it coming out now? I'm going to play it for you, and then I'll tell you why I think it's coming out now and who has released it now. This is Mitt Romney, sometime between 1990 and 1993.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
Okay, so this very high quality video that I have never seen before of Mitt Romney in the early 90s coming out in favor of abortion. And there was a line that was used by some Democrats. Bill Clinton used this back in that era when he was running in 92. I believe abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. This is close to that. Why did we never see this when he was running against Barack Obama? If you call that a run, it was rather pathetic. This would have stopped him from getting the nomination. He wouldn't have gotten the nomination if this was out, had been done. I don't even remember who all the primary opponents were back in 08, but he would not have won the nomination with that. I believe Mitt Romney's people released that piece of video that I just shared with you. I believe Mitt Romney people released this video as the first step to becoming a Democrat. The Democrat Party is in complete chaos after Iowa. Pete Buttigieg was involved in all kinds of monkey business in Iowa, and that vote in Iowa is a complete fraud. A complete fraud. Everybody knows this. They are in chaos, and they have pathetic lightweights and corrupt public officials running. There is no one on that Democrat Party stage that is electable nationally, even if the great Donald Trump was not the president, the incumbent running against them. They're lightweights and corrupt public officials. Mitt Romney's going to come in as the savior of the Democrat Party and go for a broker convention and take it. And I know a lot of people have gone for the nomination, and there have been some that have received the nomination more than once, I believe. But I don't think someone has ever received the nomination of both parties for president, not a major party, that is. Yeah. That's the plan. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Am I out of my mind? Do you agree with me? Does this seem plausible? Now, again, you must understand Romney is pathetic, insecure, petty, and insane. I'm not suggesting that this plan is going to work, but I'm telling you this is his plan. He had a plan before this. His first plan was during the Mueller investigation and everything else was to go for the Republican nomination in 2020. He thought that the president would either be removed from office or be so damaged between Mueller and impeachment that he would not be able to seek re-election and that he would run for the nomination and get it. He had a second plan, Mitt Romney, that if Donald Trump was removed from office, Pence would become vice president and he would wrangle his way to be nominated as vice president. And Pence would be so damaged from the Trump removal from office that he'd be able to get the nomination in 2020. None of those things played out. So now all of a sudden we have some video of him supporting abortion on demand without question. Comes from nowhere. He's going for the Democrat nomination, people. That is what he is doing.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
Yeah, that's amazing. That should have been, if that video was released by anyone back in 2012, not only would he have not won the nomination, he would not be in the United States Senate today, because He may be the top Mormon in the world, but in Utah, I don't believe Mormons in Utah would have voted for Mitt Romney if they knew that. Now, that was a public speech, but who the hell saw it and who remembers it? And that was a pre-internet era. I've never seen anything like this before. Okay, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, that is our number. I tell you, poor President Trump. All President Trump is doing is making America great again, keeping it great again, doing incredible things, defeating ISIS, correcting the trade imbalances, creating millions of jobs in this country. It goes on and on and on, bailing out the black universities. He's doing so much. And imagine what he would do if we didn't have these Mitt Romneys and these Nadlers and Schiffs around undermining him day in and day out. Imagine what he could get done. Look at what he's gotten done with all of this obstruction, with these coups that have been going on. He is the most amazing president ever. He really is. Cannot wait for him to write his book, The Art of the Political Deal. I've been saying that since the campaign, so President Trump, I should get some royalties on that, The Art of the Political Deal. I've been saying that on the air for a long, long time. A little payback for all my great promotion of you, Mr. President. All right, I'm going to take our first break of this Thursday morning. I want to hear your thoughts on Mitt Romney switching to the Democrat Party, making a move at the convention to have a broker convention and take the nomination away from these pathetic, corrupt losers that the Democrats are currently running. We'll talk about that after the break and also much more. There's a lot going on. I want to hear your thoughts, your calls. 1-888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
This is Adrienne Kane, Steve's daughter, and I want to tell you about my MyPillow mattress. I was talking to Dad, and I was telling him I wasn't sleeping at night. I was tossing and turning all night long. I had an old, worn-out, lumpy, bumpy mattress that was so uncomfortable, I wasn't getting any sleep. A couple of days later, there was a knock at the door, and it was a MyPillow mattress. I slept on it that night, and ever since I've been sleeping the whole night through. No more tossing, no more turning, and when my alarm goes off in the morning, I'm up and ready to go and well rested. Give your kids, grandkids, spouse, or yourself the gift of a good night's sleep with a MyPillow mattress. Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Good morning,
When
April.
you use the promo code KANE, you can save up to $300 off your MyPillow mattress. They come in all sizes, from twin to California king and every size in between. Go to mypillow.com and be sure to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and give the gift of a MyPillow mattress. Worth its weight in restful sleep.
This is Steve Kane. I'm here chatting with Dr. Troy Lemaski, my personal chiropractor. Dr. Troy, how are you today?
Doing well, Steve.
Chiropractic is an art. All the nerves in your body go through your spine. If your spine's out of line, the nerves get pinched. And of course, you're going to have all kinds of symptoms and all kinds of pain as a result of that. And until you get that spine realigned, you're going to be in pain.
100% correct. If you have a joint, especially in your back, that's stuck, that's not moving properly, it will put pressure not only possibly on nerves, but more of the time on soft tissue structures such as the ligaments, the muscles, and it will create pressure. There are nerves within the joint called mechanoreceptors, and they will affect the actual nerves that are in the joint. Pinched nerves are very common, and they do come from spinal misalignments, but not everybody that has a problem has a pinched nerve.
I've been seeing you for a relatively short period of time, and
Good morning.
you have
Good
the
morning.
healing touch, I'll tell you that. When I walk out of your office, it's I feel like a whole new person. I know you take great care of everybody, but I know you're going to go that extra mile for our wonderful Steve Kane listeners. Doctor, give them the number of the office where they can make an appointment.
It's Coast Chiropractic Injury and Wellness Center, and the phone number is 954-463-3036. 954-463-3036. We're located in East Fort Lauderdale. We're just one block east of US 1 and Oakland Park Boulevard, right off Middle River Drive. The address is 2510 East Oakland Park Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale.
Dr. Troy Lemaski, a great healer. Make an appointment today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for Double.
All righty, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. I was just talking to Debbie over at I Will Advisors yesterday, and you'll hear my conversation reflected in a new commercial we just started today for them involving life insurance. You know, you may have seen a story about a week or so ago that under President Trump, people are living longer in America. The life expectancy has increased for the first time in a long time. And what has happened because of the fact that Americans are living longer than ever before, the life insurance companies, by the way, it's all life insurance companies, have adjusted their rates and premiums because of this to reflect the fact that people are living longer. So what this means is that if you already have a life insurance policy, call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She'll review that policy at no charge. And because of the increased life expectancy that has just been reported, you very well could lower the cost that you're paying each and every month for that very same policy. It's absolutely amazing. So call Debbie at I Will Advisors. Call right now and leave a message if you're listening at 6:20 in the morning. But if you're an overnight listener and it's 20 minutes after midnight or 20 minutes after 3 a.m. or 4, whatever time it is on the overnight, you can call Debbie at I Will Advisors and leave a message. They will call you back during the day. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Okay, so go out and check that out and call her. You'll be very glad you did, because whatever your premiums are, you very well could lower them. And in some cases, it probably could be a lot. And also, those of you that are older, okay, and you think you may not be able to qualify for life insurance, or you think you may not be able to afford life insurance because of your age, this helps you too. Call her. You are not too old for life insurance. You are not only not too old for life insurance, you will be able to afford it because the rates for you have also gone down. So go to 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's Debbie's number. Leave a message if you're calling now or overnights, and they will call you back. 954-753-8080. All right, so what I've been talking about this morning is the fact that Mitt Romney, I believe, is making a move to switch to the Democrat Party. Other senators have done this in the past, while in office, while in the Senate. It has not happened in a while, but it happened a couple of times back in the Bush era. I remember it clearly. Lieberman was one of them who went independent, but there was another guy, I can't remember, who actually kind of changed the balance of power in the Senate. I can't remember who that was, but there is precedent for this. It's not unusual. And not only do I have this crazy clip of him supporting abortion, which really blew my mind.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it.
Wow. Okay, so that's amazing. Then President Trump tweeted this ad calling Mitt Romney a Democrat asset. Okay, so let me play this for you. This is Mitt Romney claiming, well, it's an ad about Mitt Romney. It's called "Romney is a Democrat Asset."
Slick, slippery, stealthy. Mitt Romney had us fooled.
Being in Donald Trump's magnificent hotel and having his endorsement is a delight.
Posing as a Republican, he tried to infiltrate Trump's administration as Secretary of State.
President Trump is the very man who can lead us to that better future.
Now his cover's blown, exposed by news reports as a Democrat secret asset.
Can't believe you're gonna lose. Yeah.
Barack Obama will be re-elected president of the United States.
Plan B, Plan C, Plan D, now gone. And so you're starting looking at the Romney math, and you're saying, well then, what's Plan E?
With tears and a gloomy
Good morning, Butch.
atmosphere as supporters left the convention center in Boston following Romney's concession speech.
That was a race, I have to say, folks, that should have been.
And that's what I'm going to get to next show.
Anything encouraging for Hillary Clinton at the moment, to be honest with you, my friend.
Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede the race.
President of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Okay, and now, yeah, I know, Mitt Romney, Democrat asset. And if you remember, we talked about this on the air at the time. It was very upsetting when Mitt Romney was running against Barack Obama in 2012. I'm not saying that Obama was beatable. You know, being the first black president is a big deal. And that's a hard thing to overcome when you're an opponent in a situation like that. But the last 2 weeks to a month of the 2020 election, Mitt Romney literally gave up. He literally gave up. He was barely running. He wasn't campaigning. Remember all of that? And there was talk at the time, what is he doing? Is he helping Barack? And I remember at the time we were saying, yes, it looks as if he indeed is doing that. Helping Barack Obama win a little easier and coast on in by not running against him. And that's a fact if you go back to it. Now, Hillary Clinton, my wife actually just sent me a video of this. Hillary Clinton was on with Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres asked her if she's ruled out running for vice president, and she refuses to rule out running for vice president, Hillary Clinton. We very well could see. Now, keep in mind, we're not dealing with rational people. When you're dealing with Romney, when you're dealing with Hillary Clinton, when you're dealing with the political establishment, you're not dealing with people that are seeing the world rationally. What you're dealing with, okay, you're dealing with people who think everybody hates Trump and and the country needs to be safe from Donald Trump. They're not like you. They're not like me. They don't see things clearly. They're in an alternate reality. Mitt Romney may very well be working with Hillary Clinton to team up together as running mates, take that nomination at a broker Democrat convention, have Mitt Romney at the top of the ticket with Hillary Clinton running as vice president. Republican and Democrats come together to save America from Trump, and boom, that's what the plan is. I'm telling you. Our number 1-888 go KANE 1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to try to be a voice of reason. I always call in and try to give the show a broader perspective, because I'm not afraid to criticize the Democrats also. I'm going to start out by criticizing the Democrats. That childish rant that Pelosi went on yesterday just because the president didn't shake her hand. She could have very well, lost the election for the Democrats with that attitude and that, just that ridiculous baby-like. I was shocked. I mean, I couldn't believe what she did. You know what I mean? It's almost as like.
All right, we get it. You can criticize Democrats. So say what you really called in the call about, because what you're doing right now with your criticism of Nancy Pelosi is to try to have some credibility. See, I go after both parts. I am a Democrat, but I'm going to criticize Nancy Pelosi. So you're doing this symbolic criticism of Nancy Pelosi to establish credibility because there's a second thing you want to talk about. So get to that. Okay, we get it. You criticize Pelosi. You're credible.
It's so unfair that you would make a statement like that. It just shows how you think that everyone is just one-sided.
No, I've been on the radio for almost 29 years, about 29 years. I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell a lot about a person by very few words and just a tone. This is not my first rodeo. I get it. So tell us what you really called in about.
You're not a mind reader. And that's the problem.
I'm not a mind reader. I'm a profiler, is what I am. I am a profiler. I'm not a mind reader. I'm a profiler, and I got you nailed. But go ahead.
Mind. They think they know it.
Go on. Get to it. We know you're credible now.
Like I said, objective people do exist in this world, and you're not one of them.
I know, but you are.
Look like you.
No, God, no. I'm unique. I'm one of a kind.
There are plenty of Americans, I'm sure, who have been in a situation where, they've been, their bosses may have tried to fire them, and not even their boss, their establishment.
Right. Well, can you talk about the topics on the table? I went through a 30-minute impassioned explanation of what Romney is doing with your party, the Democrats. Any comment on what is relevant? You're all in the wilderness here, vagueness.
No, I'm not in the wilderness. I listened back to the show, after the day is over, and you skillfully tune out what you don't want to hear to make it seem like a person is incoherent. So it'll be cool if you stop lowering the volume when I'm making.
Well, no, the reason that what you're talking about is, and this happens with everyone on radio. This is just a technical aspect of radio. On radio, only one person can talk at a time. If there's more than one piece of audio, you have mud. It could be two commercials playing at once or two people talking at once. So what I do when I'm talking to a caller, and it's the same thing Steve KANE and I do together, when you are talking, I turn my mic off. When I am talking, I mute you. So I mute myself while you are talking. I mute you while I am talking. It's Steve and I don't have to do the muting because we're professional broadcasters and have good timing with one another. That's what it is. But you say you've got some brilliant points that I am muting. I'm going to unmute you. Let's hear your brilliant intellectual arguments.
Okay, once again, just because Trump refused to shake her hand, she shouldn't have devolved into her childlike behavior.
Okay, that's yesterday's news. Actually, the day before yesterday's news. But it's yesterday's news, yesterday's topic. We understand you're objective. You criticize Republicans and Democrats. You've criticized Pelosi. Other than tearing up a government document, which some say may be a crime, do you have something else to comment on?
Yes, I do. There was another unsung hero who got no light yesterday, who was removed from the audience when Trump lied about crime going down. No one's talking about him. Do you know who he is?
Tell me.
The father of one of the children who was slaughtered at the Parkland school.
Yes. Correct.
That.
What'd you say?
Did you know about that?
Of course. I was watching it live. Okay, I'll tell you this about that. I am not going to criticize any parent of any child who was lost at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. I drive by that school almost every day. And someone who is a parent who has lost a child there will never be criticized by me. With that being said, when you are in the gallery in the House of Representatives, and which I have been to, okay, I've been in the gallery in the House of Representatives while the House was in session. You cannot jump up and start interrupting the proceedings. Everyone would be removed. He wasn't removed because of who he was. He was removed because of what he did. Just because they're a parent of someone who was lost at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas doesn't mean that they can get out of order in the gallery where you're supposed to be quiet in the House of Representatives. But I'm not going to criticize them, which is what you're trying to do. I'm not going to criticize a parent that's dealt with that. No way.
Okay, well...
Sorry I didn't fall into your stereotype. What is the conservative... do you think conservatives are supposed to attack grieving parents? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm a parent. That school is in our community. I would never do that. I can disagree with someone, but I'm not going to. It's just like I would never. I've had liberals call me on the air in the past who were Holocaust survivors. I wouldn't treat a Holocaust survivor the way I treat you because a parent from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas or a Holocaust survivor, and there are other groups of people that I believe are beyond me personally criticizing them. It's not going to happen. I don't treat them like I would treat you because I have decency and respect for people.
Okay, am I muted? Am I still muted?
Obviously not.
Okay, well,
Steve KANE Show.
Here's my second point. You asked a question yesterday about what were the women in white shouting at the president when he lied about health care. Do you know what they were shouting?
I do not.
They were shouting H3. Do you know what H3 is?
H3, is that a virus?
Okay, you don't know what it is.
No.
3 is the bipartisan, I'm going to say that again, bipartisan. I'm going to say it one more time. Bipartisan bill that's sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk to protect, I'm going to say it again, to protect pre-existing conditions with the new healthcare policy that they're trying to draw up.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't, because you guys don't talk about the important things. You lick boots on Trump and you don't know what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Now, If Trump was so interested in saving health care, he would have called Mitch a long time ago after that bipartisan.
Well, bipartisan, for something to become bipartisan, yesterday it was a bipartisan vote to convict President Trump because Mitt Romney voted to convict. Bipartisan, you just need one person from the other party to vote in favor of something, and then all of a sudden it's called bipartisan. Bipartisan doesn't mean anything. You know, my wife and I have we're married, we have a partnership. We disagree on a lot of things, and we agree on some. Just because, I mean, that's the way it is. You just need one person from the other party to vote in favor of something, and then all of a sudden it's bipartisan. That means nothing.
You're incredible. You're incredible.
Well, I am. That's why I'm well paid to do what it is that I do. But listen, I got to run for a break. It's 35 minutes after the hour. Good try. Unsuccessful, but a good try. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve KANE Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
President Trump here. Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig on the Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise on board the Celebrity Edge. The cruise will be to celebrate my re-election. Don't be a loser, be a winner, just like me. And join Steve Kane and Brian Craig on the Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise.
Thank you, Mr. President. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, celebrating the victory of President Trump as we sail December 6th out of Fort Lauderdale on a 7-day Trump 2020 Victory Cruise. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Second stop, Tortola, British Virgin Islands, and then St. Martin. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779, and join us celebrating the re-election of President Trump, 561-244-5779.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes,
I can't either.
lead to severe
December 6th, the
health
cruise.
consequences,
Well, thank you, Jack.
up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage.
Are you going with this,
for those
Connie?
of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive
Awesome.
your very own pair
Awesome.
of
Have you already talked to
therapeutic
Ian?
shoes
Made
specially
reservations?
for diabetics.
Ian might be calling in
You're
today. I can't remember if I
probably
told him to
not
call in
aware
today or
that
tomorrow.
as
I
a
forgot.
diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair
That's our travel
of
agent.
high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic
It
foot
looks fine to me.
problems
I just pulled it up on
before
my
they begin.
iPad.
Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Call
Yeah,
the
Sarah just
Soul
went on another
Authority
cruise
at
on Independence of the Seas, which was the one we did our first.
7060.
Much more crowded, isn't
Online
it, Sarah?
at
Although you're on a specialty cruise.
thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples.
Welcome. If you're not
When you
subscribed to my
complete your
channel,
trust with
please
attorney Barry
subscribe,
Siegel,
all right?
He will give you a $100 gift certificate.
If you're watching on a
to
mobile
Legal
device,
Italian
just
restaurant
close out
in
the chat,
Palm
the
Springs.
subscribe button
Call
comes
the
up.
Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida.
Yeah, I don't
including
know. It doesn't
downtown
matter to
Fort
me.
Lauderdale, Coral Gables,
Yeah, it is a cool
and
ship.
downtown Miami. 1-855.
Yeah, that was the one we did our first
FLA
cruise on. It has that shopping mall on it.
3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, back here with you. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's a week from Friday, people. A week from Friday. And Tavolino's has a special Valentine's Day event. Valentine's Day doesn't happen on Friday very often. It really doesn't. This year it falls on Friday. And Tavolino's has a very special Valentine's Day dinner menu And I'm looking at some of these appetizers. I let Steve do the food because, Steve's famous for doing his food commercials, and I'm not so good at pronouncing some of these names. I don't have the sophisticated palate that Steve Kane has, but I am looking at this, and it looks spectacular. I'm looking at the entrees, and, oh, man, that seared black grouper. That sounds spectacular. But they have a special menu for Valentine's Day at Tavolino's. The short rib lasagna, to me, sounds, because I like lasagna. I love Italian food. And when I go to Tavolino's, I've never strayed away from Italian food because Tavolino's, they serve all kinds of things, but it is an Italian restaurant. I always go for Italian because it's, when are you going to get real Italian food, right? But anyway, listen, call Tavolino's to make your Valentine's night reservations. It will fill up. Valentine's Day does not fall on a Friday very often, and so you want to make that reservation early. The number 954-507-0046. They're listed at stevekaneshow.com if you want to look them up. Their website, tavolinorestaurant.com, tavolinorestaurant.com if you missed this number, but you must call to make the reservation. 954-509-0046. For Tavolino's Valentine's Night event. All right, good morning. You are on the radio.
Yeah, this is me, Richie, and I'm calling to comment about your last caller who gives you typical liberal, giving you half the educational truth of his H3. Okay, here's the deal: the Unaffordable Care Act, which you have to pay $800 a month to get crappy insurance with a deductible of over $5,000. Moron, and I'm calling him a moron. Okay, they're trying to scrap that, and they've had to go. And President Trump eliminated the tax on it that you have to be forced to take it, and the only ones that have it now are the giveaway program. Okay, that's the giveaway program of the government. I believe they're not.
Well, I'll tell you, you're right on the money, Richie. What President Trump. I think President Trump didn't realize something when he was running for office, and that is that the private insurance industry was wrecked by Obama, okay, and pretty much was put out of business. And there's been some difficulty in restoring healthcare like we would like it, private, because the private health insurance industry has been destroyed, and there's not an industry out there to put back together. Things can't go back the way they were because the private insurance companies, so many of them are belly up. It's a wreck.
What he's trying to do in the court, okay, is to eliminate that the whole law, and part of the law is pre-existing conditions. So he can redo insurance and give pre-existing conditions. But you can't keep any part of that Obamacare law, and it's still on the books.
Well, see, Obamacare, the reason, Obamacare, what they really wanted was a complete socialized healthcare system like they have in Canada or the UK. And you're talking about small countries with small populations. We're a large country with a growing population. We have 10 times as many people as Canada, and our population is growing all the time. And they called it single payer. The single payer would be the federal government because they didn't want to say socialized health care. They knew they couldn't get it through. So what they did is they got Obamacare passed so that there would be a collapse of the health insurance industry. And when it collapsed, they figured people would be begging for the government to come in and set up a socialized healthcare system. And that's what President Trump is dealing with today. They dropped an A-bomb on the private insurance industry on purpose, because if it's wrecked, the government would come in and resurrect it, and the people would welcome socialized health care. That was the plan. The largest expense in my family's budget is my daughter's insurance every month, my daughter's health insurance every month. It is the largest single expense in my household budget, and that's outrageous. She's 20 years old.
Right, and let me say this to you. This guy that calls all the time, okay? Now, one guy called Obama a liar, which was pretty outrageous, but he did tell the truth. But to see a bunch of these congresswomen in white stand up because they sit there as arrogant idiots, and this guy calls us Trump suckers. Let me tell you something, buddy, out there. I don't want to go to a doctor. Right now I'm at the age where I don't have to, but I don't want to go to a doctor because I spoke to my doctor here. He has 18 patients a day. He says he can give them maybe 3 to 5 minutes apiece. The fact of the matter is, it's a private business doctors have. And if you, and there's not enough doctors, and if you put everybody on a dole, including the illegal people that these creeps want to give them insurance, you'll be sitting in the doctor's office. I used to drop people off on the bus at the health department. You know, pregnant girls. Drop them off at 8:30 in the morning and pick them up at 3:30 in the afternoon. They all day at the.
Well, you know what happens with. Well, what happens is, you know, to become a doctor is, it's not just something you've got to dedicate your life to that is a great expense, but when a doctor leaves medical school and they go through residency and all of that, and they're out on their own, they can only see so many patients in a day. And the government healthcare plans pay very little money. And for a doctor in private practice to see people with government insurance, whether it's Medicare or Medicaid, if they can only see so many patients a day, like you said, Richie, they can't pay their bills and their staff and their office and their malpractice insurance and support themselves on what Medicare pays all day long. Because the government regulates the price of an office visit. You know, so that's one of the, look at Iran, right? Remember the Shah of Iran, when he had cancer, he came to America. You know, you don't hear stories like this in the media too much anymore because they don't want people to realize this. When wealthy people around the world become ill, they come to America you don't see Rush Limbaugh flying off to any other, or Europe for cancer treatment. He's in America. And, you know, and the reason that we have the most advanced and best healthcare system in the world is because of privatization. That's why you go to your doctor. How many of your doctors, Richie, are not naturally born American citizens? The brilliant doctors from around the world come to America because we have a capitalist system here and they can earn a living.
And the drug companies are always expanding. They always use. See, the Democrats have a way of doing things. Make a boogeyman out of somebody. The drug companies have to do a lot of research to get new medications to save lives, new things that are. And if they cut their profits out completely, and the American people make more around the world than anyone else, so we actually are stuck paying more money than Europe. But we're getting the real deal. We're not getting Chinese replicas. You know,
this was shocking to me when the great actor Liam Neeson's wife suffered that head injury in Canada, that there was not an MRI machine within hundreds of miles of their location. Here in South Florida, there's private MRI places in almost every strip center, almost. You know what I mean?
Thing I want to say to this guy that calls you up, because I hope he calls back. I hope you let him come through.
Yeah.
I hope you let him spout his venom, because I'm going to tell him one thing. You have a choice of voting for President Trump, like sort of say, as a Democrat, or voting for a communist and having the United States turn into a communist country, because that's exactly what.
Well, exactly. All right, Richie, I got to run for our last break. I got to run for the break. It's late, but appreciate the call. Always good to talk to Richie the bus driver. It's 48 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
This is Steve Kane. I'm here chatting with Dr. Troy Lemaski, my personal chiropractor. Dr. Troy, how are you today?
Doing well, Steve.
Chiropractic is an art. All the nerves in your body go through your spine. If your spine's out of line, the nerves get pinched. And of course, you're going to have all kinds of symptoms and all kinds of pain as a result of that. And until you get that spine realigned, you're going to be in pain.
100% correct. If you have a joint, especially in your back, that's stuck, that's not moving properly, it will put pressure not only possibly on nerves, but more of the time on soft tissue structures such as the ligaments, the muscles, and it will create pressure. There are nerves within the joint called mechanoreceptors, and they will affect the actual nerves that are in the joint. Pinched nerves are very common, and they do come from spinal misalignments, but not everybody that has a problem has a pinched nerve.
I've been seeing you for a relatively short period of time, and you have the healing touch, I'll tell you that. When I walk out of your office, I feel like a whole new person. I know you take great care of everybody, but I know you're going to go that extra mile for our wonderful Steve Kane listeners. Doctor, give them the number of the office where they can make an appointment.
It's Coast Chiropractic Injury and Wellness Center, and the phone number is 954-463-3030. 3036. 954-463-3036. We're located in East Fort Lauderdale. We're just one block east of US 1 and Oakland Park Boulevard, right off Middle River Drive. The address is 2510 East Oakland Park Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale.
Dr. Troy Lemaski, a great healer. Make an appointment today.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two bald tires in the back of my Infinity, so I called them up and I thought I would really check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody, the tires I was looking at, had any mileage guarantee. His is 60,000 mile warranty. So
Wow.
they're not only half the price, they're twice as good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
Everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody could buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
Yes, indeed. All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. And, you know, Friendly Tire also do tire repairs. The other tire shops don't do tire repairs because they want to sell you new tires. And I had an incident a few months back. I drove to Universal Studios Orlando with my daughter to go to Halloween Horror Nights, which if you've never been to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Orlando, you should go. It is an unbelievable event. My wife, I wish, could go, but I go with my daughter every year, and it's a great thing and a great time. But anyway, we get up there, and we drove from home right to Universal Orlando, our hotel, and the tire was low on air, so I went and filled it up, and we went to the park, and I was really worried that it was going to be flat when we left. And I had an air pump in the car, and I filled it up. And we went to the Halloween Horror Nights, went back to the hotel. I woke up early in the morning. It was a Saturday, weekend morning, and the tire was almost completely flat. I went to some tire shops in the area in Orlando because I had to drive all the way back from Orlando here to South Florida. None of them would do a tire repair. All I needed was a new stem on the tire. The tire stem, I somehow had gotten damaged, and it was leaking air, and no one would do a tire repair. They all tried to sell me new tires. I said, no way, these are new tires. I just damaged the stem. I ran up against a curb and bent the stem. My daughter has a Fiat. It's a small car. And I said, forget that. I drove the car back from Orlando, stopping at every rest plaza. They have rest plazas every 35 to 45 miles on the turnpike. I stopped at every rest plaza and filled up with air, got home, went over to Friendly Tire, and it was $7, $10, something like that, repair. Isn't that something? At Friendly Tire. The other places won't do repairs. Friendly Tire will. So listen. New tires, great prices. You hear us talk about them a lot. Used tires starting at just $30 for most sizes. Great high quality used tires, and also tire repairs. Their website, Friendly Tire, no S, friendlytire.net, friendlytire.net. You can call 954-977-9445. They're located in Margate at 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate. Northwest 15th Street is just north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7 in Margate. Friendly Tire. Mention the Steve Kane Radio Show. And send your friends in too, okay? Oh, man. Okay, so we got a lot happening, a lot going on. Mitt Romney making a move to get the Democrat Party nomination. I'm going to recap that theory of mine after the top of the hour break again, because I think it's a credible theory. I know it sounds crazy. And I also want to establish clear that I came up with it first, because as it becomes obvious, and when he does it, people say, I knew he was going to do it. Well, you heard it here first, people. Oh, man. Okay, now, what's going on in Iowa is a disgrace. And I know a lot of people will say that are Republicans, well, we want chaos in the Democrat Party. Let me tell you, I do not want any type of election fraud. I don't care if it benefits Republicans or Democrats. I do not want any type of election fraud. I believe the greatest issue facing America is that our election system is a complete fraud. I've been talking about this for years, and I've done a lot of shows on this. I've discussed it a lot, and I know exactly how they do it. Now, this latest fraud that they pulled off in Iowa with Pete Buttigieg's app, I mean, they've got one of the candidates who pays for an app that's being used to tally the votes. This is insane. And, of course, the winner in Iowa is Bernie Sanders, but they don't want him to win the nomination. And that's what this fraud was all about, the fear of Bernie winning the nomination. And yesterday, the corrupt public official, Joe Biden, actually talked about why they cannot allow Bernie Sanders to win the nomination. And I thought it was a rational explanation. But, see, and I'll play it for you in a second, but, Democrats believe the ends justify the means. No matter what they have to do to accomplish their end goal, which is to have power, they'll do whatever it takes. If it's stealing elections, monkeying around with elections, it's for the greater good. That's what they tell themselves. So this is Joe Biden just yesterday talking about why it's important to stop Bernie Sanders. Here we go.
But if Senator Sanders is a nominee for the party, every Democrat in America...
I love the Cranberries.
Blue states, red states,
absolutely.
states,
saw them in concert.
Easy districts and competitive ones.
Dolores O'Riordan and the late Doris O'Riordan.
Will have to carry the label Senator Sanders is chosen for himself. He's a good man, but he labeled himself. So what do you think about who's going to be at the top of the table? Donald Trump is desperate.
Oh, hey, Cully.
To pin the socialist label of socialist on our party. We can't let him do that.
Okay. So, yeah. So, the Democrat Party is more fearful of Bernie Sanders than of Trump, and Biden let the cat out of the bag. They're afraid of him winning because the party will be labeled a socialist party. Now, the Democrat Party is a socialist party. It's been a socialist party since, probably Woodrow Wilson officially made it a socialist party. And, of course, Franklin Roosevelt and everything that's happened ever since. It's a socialist party. There is no question about that. All right? No question about that. However, they don't want you to know that. And they don't want to be named a socialist party. And Bernie Sanders winning the nomination as a Democrat socialist it'll be official. He'll be the leader of the party. Whoever wins the nomination becomes the leader of the party. So if Bernie Sanders wins the nomination, he becomes the leader of the Democrat Party, and that's it. Boom, he's done. They're done. They're officially a socialist party. Now, I think that they're just putting off the inevitable because they've got AOC there. See, that's why there's so much talk about them redistricting in New York to redistrict AOC out of a district, so she has to run against another incumbent. AOC quickly, if she continues to get elected in her House seat, will be gaining seniority in the House of Representatives, and that seniority will not only firm her position up, but give her a lot more endorsement power for other Democrat socialists. See, there's no such thing as a Democrat socialist. They're communist. They're communist. And they can't say that they're communist. And they can't even say they're outright socialist. So they call themselves Democrat socialist or Democratic socialist. And the Democrat Party establishment knows that is the end of their party. So they're trying to stop Bernie from winning the nomination because of that. And another thing, Democratic Socialist AOC has not only endorsed Bernie Sanders, she's been campaigning for him. And a Bernie Sanders victory also elevates AOC and gives her more power and influence. And they're trying to stop all of this. All right, we're coming up on the top of the hour break. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We are on the radio weekdays from midnight till 9 a.m. I know, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? I know, we are on the air from midnight until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Weekends, we're on the air midnight till 6 a.m. All right, we'll take our break at 7 o'clock in the morning. My name's Brian Craig. Don't you go anywhere.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
President Trump here. Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig on the Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise on board the Celebrity Edge. The cruise will be to celebrate my re-election. Don't be a loser, be a winner, just like me. And join Steve Kane and Brian Craig on the Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise.
Thank you, Mr. President. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, celebrating the victory of President Trump as we sail December 6th out of Fort Lauderdale on a 7-day Trump 2020 Victory Cruise. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Second stop, Tortola, British Virgin Islands. And then St. Martin. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779, 561-244-5779, and join us celebrating the re-election of President Trump, 561-244-5779.
Attention homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether. We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or all of the following: roofs, doors, windows, insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts, hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy efficient improvements that actually pay for themselves over a short period of time. Our program is designed to make the savings on your electric bill pay for all or part of your low monthly payments. The PACE program is government sponsored and gives you up to 30 years to pay.
I know,
Requires no
I know about all
credit
that. All right, I
check,
appreciate it.
no
All right,
money
gotta
down,
run, but
no
thanks.
income verification, no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and taxes for the last 3 years to qualify. Energy savings and hurricane solutions made easy.
Trump, that's a good one.
954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you are still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free
Make sure you guys subscribe, all right?
Life insurance policy, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney
Good
Barry
morning,
Siegel,
Beverly.
he will give you a $100 gift certificate to
well,
Italian restaurant in Coral
it's not
Springs.
as easy as it
Call
looks. I'm
the
highly
Siegel
skilled
Law
and
Group
well
with
trained.
9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale.
Was Cully in here? I saw someone say hi, Cully. I didn't see what his name is.
FLA 3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1.
Who's Cully? What's his name in here? I didn't see his name. It says you have a handle.
Now, here's Steve Kane.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. How would you like to feel better? How would you like to feel younger? How would you like to have your sex drive restored? Men, if you suffer from erectile dysfunction and you don't have the ability to get or maintain an erection, how would you like to be able to get an erection and maintain it? And by the way, get an erection as needed and on demand. Call Dr. Mitch Matez and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. I'm a patient of Dr. Matez, and I'm here to tell you he's a miracle worker. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is completely 100% natural. These are the hormones that your body naturally produces, but as you grow older, your body produces less of them. That's one of the reasons that you age. He'll restore your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll have your energy back, your sex drive back. Cognition, this is a huge one. Oh, man. You know, Dr. Matez has patients in their 30s and he has patients in their 80s. And if you're suffering with any type of cognition issue, hormone replacement pellet therapy restores cognition, your ability to think, your ability to recall. It's absolutely amazing. And of course, women, the signs and symptoms of menopause completely 100% reversed. Night sweats, mood swings, vaginal dryness, loss of sex drive, all of that 100% reversed. Men and women who are suffering with hair loss, hormone replacement pellet therapy stops hair loss in its tracks. That's a fact, people. Stops hair loss in its tracks. The hair you have left will grow back thicker and fuller. Call Dr. Mitch Matez for a completely free consultation. The free consultation only for Steve Kane Radio Show listeners. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com. Again, free consultation for Steve Kane listeners. If you missed that number, just go to SteveKaneShow.com. It's listed there with all of our sponsors. All right, welcome back, one and all. For those that are just tuning in, I want to recap what I started this show with 6 o'clock in the morning with. And I was talking about how Mitt Romney has a plan. He's had a plan, and it's why he's in the United States Senate. Mitt Romney's plan is to become the president of the United States. He still thinks it's there. He still thinks it's within sight. Mitt Romney, and I was thinking this, and then a piece of video that I've never seen before made its way to the internet yesterday, and then boom, I was like, there it is. Mitt Romney's plan is to switch parties, to become a Democrat, to go to the Democrat National Convention, which is in total chaos after the monkey business in Iowa. They've got a bunch of losers, lightweights, wannabes, and corrupt public officials running for president. None of them are electable, even without Donald Trump. Mitt Romney plans on going to the Democrat National Convention, probably holding hands with Hillary Clinton, to get the nomination for president of the United States from the Democrat Party and have Mrs. Clinton as his vice president. That's the plan. That's the plan. And this new ad that you're hearing calling Mitt Romney a Democrat asset that the president tweeted isn't what got me confirmed on this. Something else did. Let me play the Romney is a Democrat asset ad, and then I'll play you the video that I found this morning that firmed up my belief that Mitt Romney is making a move to switch parties and become the Democrat nominee for president.
Slippery, stealthy. Mitt Romney had us fooled.
Being in Donald Trump's magnificent hotel and having his endorsement is a delight.
Posing as a Republican, he tried to infiltrate Trump's administration as Secretary of State.
President Trump is the very man who can lead us to that better future.
Now his cover's blown, exposed by news reports as a Democrat's secret asset.
I can't believe you're gonna lose. Yeah.
Barack Obama will be re-elected president of the United States.
Plan B, Plan C, Plan D are now gone. And so you're starting looking at the Romney math, and you're saying, well then, what's Plan E?
With tears and a gloomy atmosphere as supporters left the convention center in Boston following Romney's concession speech.
That was a race, I have to say, folks, that should have been won.
I wouldn't call anything encouraging for Hillary Clinton at the moment, to be honest with you, my friend.
Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede the race.
President of the United States.
Okay, now that's the Romney is a Democrat asset commercial that the president retweeted. And I'm going to agree with that one. But my thought about him switching to the Democrat Party, going to the convention, having a Democrat brokered convention, and Mitt Romney getting the Democrat nomination for president, he's going to go there and try to unite the country, unite the party, the Democrat Party, and save us from Donald Trump. Because as the voters, well, you know, we don't know what's best for us. We don't know what's best for us. This piece of video that I found this morning confirmed my thoughts about him becoming a Democrat. People have switched parties while in the United States Senate. It hasn't happened in a while, but it has happened several times. Joe Lieberman did it, and there were some others that weren't as famous. Okay? What this piece of audio did to me was like, wow, set off sirens. This piece of video that came out of Mitt Romney this morning, I believe was released by Mitt Romney. By the way, those of you calling in, call back. I'm sorry I've been tied up and missing your calls. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1 is our number. What's been going on with Mitt Romney has been you got to understand, he's a crazy person. He's a crazy person. I'm not saying he's going to be successful with this. I'm saying this is the move that he's making. Unseat Trump, become the Democrat nominee, go up against Trump, and he's going to be the next savior of the Democrat Party. You will see this. So, Mitt Romney, this piece of video, I've never seen it before. Prior to this morning, when I was doing my show prep, I've never seen this video before. This video is from sometime between 1990 and 93. The exact date I don't have. I imagine at some point today we'll get more information because this is starting to circulate all over the place. This video where he was speaking to a group of people about abortion, if this would have been released back in 2012, he would not have won the nomination. He would not be the senator from Utah right now either. Not as a Republican. He'd be done. I believe Mitt Romney's people released this video to set the stage with the Democrats to say he's a reasonable guy. He's a reasonable guy. He's with us. This is it. Mitt Romney in favor of abortion on demand. Listen.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
Okay, Roe v. Wade was 1973, so that's why I'm saying something like 90, 93-ish. He's supporting Roe v. Wade and abortion on demand. Mitt Romney. Wow. Have any of you seen that video prior to this morning or this week? Maybe some of you saw it before I did yesterday. But have you ever seen that? He was speaking to a group of people. Have you ever seen that? Why did we not? Let me tell you, if this was widely circulated, we would have seen it in the 2012 race. Because he would have been done with that. You're on the radio. Good morning. I thought it was you. I was expecting your call. Yeah, this is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. You know, December 6th on the Celebrity Edge is our Steve KANE Trump 2020 Victory Cruise. And I tell you, Ian, I've been seeing television commercials all over the news of the Celebrity Edge. And I know a lot of people out there have. This cruise ship we're going on, the most advanced cruise ship on the 7 Seas, is beautiful.
It sure is, and it made Time Magazine's 2019 Greatest Places award. It's certainly state-of-the-art, that's for sure.
Well, we took a tour of the Celebrity Edge with a group of our cruisers a couple months back, and I've been cruising maybe longer than you, Ian, because I'm older than you, but I've been cruising. I went on my first cruise in 1989, so I've been cruising for 31 years, and I've been on a lot of cruise ships. I've never seen anything like the Celebrity Edge. It is not only beautiful, spectacular, modern, and advanced. It's the most luxurious cruise ship I have ever seen.
And it still has that new car smell, as you point.
It does. It does have the new car smell. Which blew my mind. Now, Ian and I have been working out the plans and the activities for the next cruise, and we're not ready to announce all of them yet. But for those of you who have been with us on our past cruises, we are changing up all of the activities on this cruise, and we've got a lot of things planned. And we'll be announcing them when we firm up everything. But we leave December 6th, which I believe, is that a Sunday, Ian? Yeah, it's a weekend. I think it's a Sunday, and we're going to be gone for 7 days. We leave out of Fort Lauderdale. We're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We are going to the British Virgin Islands. We are going to St. Martin on the most advanced, luxurious cruise ship on the oceans. And we are going to have an incredible time. As always, we'll have dinner together every night. We're picking out a couple of great excursions. I think one of the excursions need to be in my favorite place in the Caribbean, which is San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I don't know, we're talking about the next one. Should we do the second excursion? And where's our second stop, Ian? We start in San Juan, right? And then our...
You know, that's a new port stop for celebrity. I've been there. It's really a high-end island, very well known to yachters. So a lot of pristine beaches and interesting history. It's a really nice place. I actually rented a car and drove all over the island.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And of course, our cruise family of Trump supporters grows each and every cruise. And this is our Trump victory cruise because Trump will have been reelected on this cruise. And it's going to be a wonderful time. Now, those of you that have already made reservations, in particular those that made reservations with us on our last cruise, call Ian over at Cruise and Travel Depot because he has some things to tell you, and you'll be glad you called him. I promise you. But if you have not made a reservation, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll give you some more details on the activities we're planning when you call him up. You just put down a small deposit. You lock yourself in on this cruise. Ian's number is 561-244-5779. You know, one of the things, we do our live in-person talk show on the first night at sea, and we're changing that up a bit. We're still going to do the talk show, but we're going to make it more interactive with the people in our group. We're going to kind of turn it into I'm not sure, kind of a social mixer as well, so we can all get to know one another. We're going to have cocktails together every night before dinner. I'm an early riser. I'm one of the first people up on the ship. I'm up with the crew, and I'm going to have a coffee club meet every morning on the ship at the coffee bar, and we've got a lot of great activities we're going to be participating in. And I'd recommend you guys go to stevekaneshow.com. There's 2 videos I have there. One is of the Celebrity Edge tour, and the other one is of our last cruise that we took in November. Watch the cruise video from November 1st and see what a great time and what great people we have, and then watch the video of our tour of the Celebrity Edge. And you're going to be blown away, and you'll probably call Ian before you get through the first video because you'll see what a great group of people we have. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, I'm really looking forward to the vacation come December 6th.
Me too. I sailed on Edge, and the wife and I had a fantastic time, and I'm sure our listeners are going to.
Oh, yeah, and let's not forget about the food. When we took a tour, we had lunch at one of the restaurants on the Celebrity Edge, and let me tell you something. It was the best meal I've ever had on a cruise ship. You know, this is Celebrity's newest and best ship, and the best in every department from the Celebrity fleet are on the Celebrity Edge. The best waiters, the best stewards, the best crew, the best cooks and chefs. You know, the best of the best are there, and you can tell as soon as you have one bite of your meal on the Celebrity Edge, the food is spectacular. Call Ian, 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, take care, and thanks for calling in today. All right. Oh, yeah, guys, go watch those videos at stevekaneshow.com. Oh, man. I know, isn't it exciting? I'm excited, and I know what you are excited. Are you guys excited too? You are, and and again, those of you that have made reservations already that were on the last cruise, call Ian. He's got some great news for you. So you wanna call him because we're making plans. We're making plans, people. Takes a long time to put these things together. Oh man, I love it. Okay, so so Mitt Romney is making his move. He's making his move to become president. His original move was to become the Republican nominee. His original move was to become the Republican nominee. He thought that Trump would be either so damaged he couldn't run for the nomination or would be removed, Pence would become president, and he was going to make a move to become vice president under Pence, who would be so damaged he wouldn't be able to get the nomination and he'd get the Republican nomination. That failed. It fizzled out. So now he's going for the Democrat nomination. Rush Limbaugh, you know, I got to tell you, you know, Rush Limbaugh's a great man. Yeah, I talked a little bit yesterday about why he deserves the Medal of Freedom, okay? And there's no question he deserves the Medal of Freedom. What the left are doing to Rush Limbaugh is god-awful and so inappropriate. You know, there are some times when you don't criticize people. There are certain, but you know, Democrats have no decency. Democrats have no class. Okay, so when they do these things, they don't understand what they're saying is so inappropriate. Rush Limbaugh is damn sick, man. When he was at the State of the Union the other night, did you know that he was there in a wheelchair? How many of you knew he was in a wheelchair at the State of the Union? That tells you how sick he is. Well, Joe Biden was talking about Rush Limbaugh. Let me play this for you. This is Biden yesterday. He's talking about Rush Limbaugh.
For the State of the Union, you were awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor by President Obama. And I'm wondering, it was obviously a very emotional moment for you. I remember the ceremony last night. President Trump awarded the same medal to Rush Limbaugh. I'm wondering what you thought when you learned about that.
Keep in mind, they're talking about a man who now has stage 4 cancer. Okay, and there's applause and there's laughing.
Rush Limbaugh spent his entire time on the air dividing people, belittling people, talking about blacks in ways, African Americans in ways that, anyway, I do feel badly.
Okay, then he goes on. I think he said his name wrong. I'm going to go back. There's been a common line that he is not a good guy because he's a racist. They keep calling him a racist. And what Mitt Romney, what Joe Biden just said there, he said things about blacks, and then he didn't give an example. Why? Because he couldn't give an example. What has Rush Limbaugh ever said or done that is racist? Because I'm hearing him called a racist quite a bit. Okay? I've never heard him say anything that was racist. I've never heard him even be accused of doing something that would be racist. Now, the one thing I want to get this out, because their first response is, well, he was talking about the Obama birth certificate. That was not started by Rush Limbaugh. The birth certificate questions was not started by any Republican or any conservative. It was started by Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign in 2008 during the primary session, or the primary season. Hillary Clinton's campaign are the ones that brought up the birth certificate first. So I ask you, what has Rush Limbaugh ever said or done that is racist? Snerdley, his producer, is black. Snerdley runs his entire operation. What kind of racist would put a black man in charge of their entire $24 million or 24 million listener base business? He's got 24 million listeners a week. Would he put a black man in charge of all of that if he were a racist? It's absurd. Rush Limbaugh's number one guy is a black man. If I went to Joe Biden's campaign, how many black men are running that campaign as a whole? Oh, he's got advisors. I'm talking about running it. Really running it. And that goes for Pete Buttigieg and all the rest of them. And When I hear them call Rush Limbaugh a racist without a specific example, I did hear one person on MSNBC mention the birth certificate. That was Hillary Clinton's campaign. If it were not for Hillary Clinton's campaign, we never would have even been talking about the birth certificate issue. It was her that made it an issue, not us. And, you know, there was a caller in the first hour, and someone tried this yesterday, talking about the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas father that was removed. And I said there were certain people that are beyond criticism. I am not going to criticize someone who lost a child at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. I don't care what they say and do. I will never criticize them. They're dealing with something that I don't even want to think about. Okay? I will never criticize one of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas parents, ever. They try to get you in these... Why? Because I have decency and class and respect for people. Democrats, on the other hand, are cheering on and doing dances, wishing for the worst of the worst to happen to Rush Limbaugh. This year is going to be a rough year for conservatives because of Rush. When the president said he had stage 4 cancer, Rush didn't tell us that on the air. He said he had advanced lung cancer. President Trump said stage 4. It's been confirmed now. He has stage 4 cancer. That is not good. He's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair. And they're talking this way about him. You know, listen. There are racists in our society. I don't use racist or anti-Semite. There are people that fit these things. Racist, anti-Semites, bigots. I don't use that lightly. Democrats throw it around and it's become meaningless. To call someone a racist without being able to give a specific example of what they've ever said or done is racist when the person is dying of cancer. And by the way, very high profile in front of the whole country. Imagine what it's like. It's difficult enough to deal with a diagnosis like that for someone, but to have millions of people in the country rooting for the cancer. Can you imagine? No, we can't. It's terrible what they're doing. I don't believe in the karma thing. You know, karma's not going to make it worse with what they're doing. But what the Democrats are doing in regards to Rush Limbaugh and his cancer is disgusting. It's inhumane. Some of the things I'm not going to read the tweets. The things I've seen on Twitter by people with blue check marks. Can't believe it's being allowed. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Brian, I'm bigger than you and I'm black. I told you the truth about you. You did tell you you don't like me. I told you the president should be acquitted, right? You tell me you don't like me. I leave a lot of things, a lot of my views on your answers.
Yeah, nobody listens to those. When we see it's a call from you, we delete it. No one listens to your phone messages.
You didn't listen to my voice?
Never. Nope. I don't. No, I don't. It's not that I don't like you. I think you're a terrible caller. I think you're boring with very little, if anything, to contribute, and you bring the quality of the show down when you're on the radio. That's what I don't dislike you personally. I don't care. I don't like or dislike you. I just think you're radio death. You're radio death.
Acquitted, and you're looking for somebody else you're looking for Bolton to come set him free. He got his own lawyers. He used his lawyers to set him free. There was no case there.
Okay. Stupid. You call me stupid? Yeah, and then he hung up, yes. Oh, man. Oh, man. Things aren't going well for the Democrats. Things are not going well. Listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. Indeed it is, the Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll break and be right back after this.
Attention homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether. We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or all of the following: roofs, doors, windows, insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts, hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy efficient improvements that actually pay for themselves over a short period of time. Our program is designed to make the savings on your electric bill pay for all or part of your low monthly payments. The PACE program is government sponsored and gives you up to 30 years to pay. Requires no credit check, no money down, no income verification, and no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and taxes for the last 3 years to qualify. Energy savings and hurricane solutions made easy. Call 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561.
Well, we're here now, Lisa.
523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone. 561-523-4325.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yes. All right, welcome back, one and all. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Oh, man, I tell you. You know, Valentine's Day is a week from Friday. Valentine's Day is on a Friday this year, people. That does not happen very often. And Tavolino's Italian restaurant here in Coral Springs has an incredible Valentine's Day special menu of appetizers, of soups, of salads, of entrees, and of course desserts. But you have to make a reservation because this is Valentine's Day and Valentine's is on a Friday. So you must make a reservation, okay? Some of these great entrees, coconut crusted Caribbean lobster tail. Oh man. Seared black grouper. Wow, braised short rib lasagna. These are just incredible dishes. Oh, man. I'm getting hungry just reading this menu. Call and make your reservation, all right? Lock it in. Valentine's Day. Take your Valentine to Tavolino's. Their website, Tavolino, no S, TavolinoRestaurant.com. TavolinoRestaurant.com. But call to make that reservation. 954-509-0046. 954-509-0046. Valentine's at Tavolino's. Their number listed at SteveKaneShow.com if you missed that. Oh, man. Okay, so Bloomberg is out with a new ad. And, you know, none of them have the endorsement of Mitt Romney. You know, none of them have the endorsement of Mitt Romney. They're all desperate to get the endorsement of Mitt Romney. And I'm sorry, Mitt Romney. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of it this morning. I meant to say Barack Obama. But what difference is there? What difference does it make? Mitt Romney, Barack Obama. Not much difference in the two of them today, right? They're all after Obama's endorsement. He has not given his endorsement. We may never get an endorsement from Barack Obama, depending on who gets the nomination. But Bloomberg has a new ad, and Obama is all over his new ad. This is Bloomberg's new ad. Let's play it.
He's been a leader throughout the country for the past 12 years. Mr. Michael Bloomberg is here.
Leadership in action. Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws, to improve education, and to develop innovative ways to help teens gain the skills needed to find good jobs.
At a time when Washington is divided in old ideological battles, he shows us what can be achieved when we bring people together to seek pragmatic solutions.
I'm Mike Bloomberg.
All right. Yeah, okay. You know that book on Vietnam? I can't remember the name of the guy. Bright Shining Lie. Remember this? A lot of you old Vietnam era guys know Bright Shining Lie. And was it Scheer who wrote that book? And, you know, what was talked about in Bright Shining Lie, and you've heard other people talk about this as well, when a war breaks out, we saw this in Iraq. When the war in Iraq breaks out, a lot of planning goes into it, that we're all weaponized, we have all this equipment, and then we're in a war situation and things happen and it doesn't go as planned. When there's a war going on, the military, no matter how well armed and prepared they are armed and prepared for the last war, not the current situation. And in Vietnam, the guys that were running the army in Vietnam, at least in the early days, were all World War II guys. And they were trying to fight in Vietnam like they were fighting the Germans in World War II, and it didn't work. Their strategy was based around an old, outdated war. Same goes for the Democrats, and this Bloomberg ad is a prime example of it. Vague generalities. He's the one who fought for gun control and better education. Well, how did he do it? President Trump just gave a voucher scholarship to a young girl that's in a failing school so she can have a chance at life and a decent education. But what did Bloomberg do? He fought for education. Yeah, but how? You know, he fought for it. Yeah, what does that mean? So these Democrats, Guy Mayor, 12 years, a term past term limits, not one specific, all vague generalities. Everyone running for president, except Donald Trump, vague generalities. Well, I fought for health care. I combated the gun lobby. How did you combat the gun lobby? Don't worry about it. I combated them. All of these politicians are fighting the last war. Their strategy is pre-Trump. I've been telling you for a long time that Trump has changed the expectations of voters for our politicians. We want results. We don't want vague generalities. We want someone who has a record of accomplishment, who can point specifically to what they've done. I combated gun violence. Really? How do you combat gun violence in the city of New York? I did it. Just to listen to the ad, okay? Don't listen to, don't ask questions. Bloomberg's ad, he spent $10 million on the Super Bowl alone. Every dollar spent is a dollar wasted because the ads are out of date. They say nothing. And it's not just him, it's all of them. Biden, Warren, everyone else. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good, what's your name?
I'm Tony up here in Palm Bay.
Okay, Tony in Palm Bay, what's on your mind?
Hey, just wanted to call. I wanted to ask a question about, or get your thoughts on that Pete Buttigieg, I think that's his name up there in Iowa.
Yeah. My thoughts about what? About how he paid for an app in an election that he was running to tally the votes, and he's miraculously won? I mean, that's crazy. I know, it's insane. Yeah.
Right. Well, and right now we got, a president and a first lady, and if I'm not misunderstood, I think he's gay.
Who's gay? Oh, everybody knows he's gay, you know. But except that one lady on the video the other day. But going back to Iowa. You know, right now, I don't know how many counties they have in now. Last I saw, it was like 57% of the. I don't know how many what the percentage is. He's about a point ahead of Bernie Sanders. I believe Bernie Sanders won Iowa. I believe he won massively. And even with Buttigieg using his own app that he paid for, tallying the votes, he can still barely beat Bernie by just a percentage point or 1.5 points. That's how popular Bernie Sanders is. But you know, for him to have financed the app cost about $60,000. He gave $40-some thousand to the company that developed the $60,000 app. So he paid for the vast majority of the app that's being used to tally the votes in Iowa. Just that alone should invalidate the results. Even if he finished second or third place, it should invalidate the results. It's what they've done with the Democrats. You know, why do you think he came out before one vote? Buttigieg is stupid. And I know he's a Rhodes Scholar and all, but he's a stupid person. You know, the reason he came out and declared victory before one vote had been counted is because he was going according to the plan. And the plan was, well, we've got the app. It'll come out early, around 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Come out, declare victory. And he didn't change his plans. He didn't, you know, no votes had been counted. He came out and declared victory because it was fixed. And he knew what the outcome would be. It was fixed. So he came out before one vote was counted and declared victory, which is impossible to do. This is the most corrupt election that we've publicly seen.
Absolutely.
Who's whispering to you in the background?
I'm sorry?
I heard a lady talking in the background.
Yeah, it's my fiance.
Fiance? How long you been engaged?
Been engaged for almost 4 years now.
What the hell? It's not a fiance. Come on. Why have you been engaged for 4 years? Why aren't you married after 4 years? I married my wife 6 weeks after we met. Why have you guys been engaged 4 years? Come on, tell me. Why have you been engaged? Why have you been engaged 4 years?
Don't know.
Yes, you do.
Just
Are the two of you? You're both divorced.
time, you know.
You're both divorced. Do you have adult children, the both of you?
We both have children. She has one, and she has an adult.
So, why would somebody get engaged and never get married? Why don't you just be like boyfriend and girlfriend that live together? Why do you have to go through this hoax that you're engaged after 4 years? I mean, come on.
I agree with you. Maybe we'll pull the string.
No, you're just trying to get out of this trouble you're in this call because she probably. I don't know, does she want to be married by now and you're just dragging it out, or is it you?
Oh yeah, she wants to be married.
Do you pay alimony to your previous? Are you paying alimony?
Child support.
You pay child support. Wow, how old's your kid? 4. Oh yeah, so you got 4 more years of child support. How much is child support every month these days? $600. Man, I wish my daughter only cost me $600 a month. That's nothing. You're not doing right by your ex. $600 a month for a 14-year-old. The cell phone for the kids probably $250 a month. Plus they got to eat and clothes. And come on, you're almost like a deadbeat dad, man. Well, maybe you are. $600 a month? Come on. Do you know how much my daughter cost me a month? A lot more than $600. And
fixed income. I'm a disabled vet.
oh, here goes the whining. I know. All right. What's your disability? You're a disabled vet. What's your disability?
Yeah, I have a major lung disease.
So do you work?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't work. How old are you? You're 40? How long since you worked?
2004.
Oh my goodness. So what's the lung disease that you have? This guy's really regretting this call now. You have bacteria in your lungs from a rat?
I had a bacteria in my lungs, some burn pit exposure, chemical.
You sound like you're breathing all right to me. Are you on oxygen? Do you use oxygen? Okay. All right. I don't know. Sounds like you're running a scam to me. All right. I'm going to let you off the hook. I know I put you through the ringer here, but take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. Oh, my goodness. $600 a month. Jeez.
I don't know why, but that's really upsetting me. It's just...
Oh, by the way, hold on, caller. That caller, that last caller was a nice guy. Somebody in the chat room just said, lay off, he's a vet. The veteran card was him trying to get me to lay off. He laid out that he's a veteran, a disabled veteran, thinking that that would cause me to say, oh, well, you know, you're a veteran. I'm not going to question you anymore. $600 a month in child support. That's everything you need. And, you know, and all this stuff. Give me a break. That was like an SOS he was sending out. You know what I mean? I'm not going to. Anyway, the reason for your call.
Yeah, Mitt Romney. You know, if it was anybody else that voted to find John Trump guilty, we would be upset, but because it's Mitt Romney, this is what he wants. He wants all this attention. He's hiding behind his Mormonism. When he says, oh, he did it for Jesus, that's baloney. He is like Judas. He like turned on his own.
Well, you know, I've been talking this morning. See, I believe Mitt Romney is going to switch parties and become a Democrat and make a move to get the Democrat nomination for president to save America from Donald Trump. That's what I think is in play here.
Well, one of the things I kind of thought what you said, but I missed because I'm working. I missed the part where you said about the abortion.
Oh, let me play it for you. Okay, so let me play this for you. This is a piece of video that I've never seen before. It didn't come out during the 2012 campaign. It's Mitt Romney around 1993 talking about abortion and Roe v. Wade. Listen.
This country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
See, okay, so he's supporting abortion on demand. I believe Mitt Romney released that I believe Mitt Romney released that video himself. I've never seen that before. He ran for president, and that was not out there. It would have stopped him from getting the nomination. I think he's setting himself up to be a reasonable person to save America for that. And that's out there to soften up the Democrats and prepare the Democrats for him to come in because he supports Roe v. Wade, say.
Where was he when he said that?
It's unclear. I just saw it this morning. I'm hoping we'll get more detail. He's a lot younger in it. He was speaking to a group of people into a microphone. It was some event, maybe one of those rubber chicken events, you know, that politicians do, but he was speaking to a group of people. And I find it odd that we've never seen that before. That was shocking. And it tells you everything you need to know. Yeah.
That's very shocking.
I know, you're speechless.
He had it out the window.
Yeah, now, did you hear the last caller? Is $600 a month in child support for a teenager enough? It sounds like he's getting off pretty cheap. That's like deadbeat dad status, $600 a month.
Yeah, I don't know. These guys, I don't know. That sounds a little low.
Sounds way low.
I'm sure by the time the kid's 18, he's going to drop them.
Yeah, you know, my daughter, between the cell phone and the car insurance, I think I'm at around that mark, and that's without food and clothing and heat and water and air conditioning and shampoos and the hairstyle and all that.
I listened to you since your daughter was like in high school, so yeah, it's pretty cool what you and your daughter do and stuff.
Oh yeah, we spend a lot. Yeah.
At least 5-6 years since your daughter was like in high school. So.
Yeah. You see my YouTube videos of me at Disney World? You watch those? You should. Yeah, you should watch them. Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy. We're crazy people. Oh, yeah. You've been talking about the body piercing, yeah. All right, listen, I got to run, but thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. All right, 48 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
My attorney, Barry Siegel,
be right back, guys.
A very fine attorney who executed my revocable living trust. Now, I had a revocable living trust when I went to see Barry, And I discovered that just having it's not enough. You have to keep it updated. Give me the reasons for that, Barry.
Well, Steve, things change as time goes by, and that's why it's important, just like you go to the doctor and get checkups every so often, it's important to get your revocable living trust and other estate planning documents checked up upon on a regular basis. I would suggest every 3 years. And some of the reasons why you would need to update your estate plan is, first of all, some of the provisions that you may have made, your beneficiaries, your trustees, you may need to change them for one reason or another. Maybe your trustee's no longer with us, maybe they're not the best choice anymore, maybe you had more children and you need to put them in as beneficiaries as well. Also,
in my case, my executor had died, so I had no one representing me. Today I have
Steve Kane Show.
We made him the executor.
And that's
Steve
exactly
Kane
the
Show.
point. You need to
Hey, hold on.
review and
Steve
dust
Kane
off
Show.
that old estate plan and take a look
Hold on.
and see what you have to make sure it's up to date. You also want to make sure that it's up to date because laws change from time to time, and also things in your financial life may have changed, hopefully for the better. And if that's the case, you need to make sure that your planning is up to date so that the bottom line is we want your estate plan to work for you when you need it. So that's why it's so important to make sure that your estate plan, and specifically your revocable living trust, is up to date.
The bottom line is call Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group, make an appointment, go in, make sure that your revocable living trust is updated. The number, toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. Be sure to mention to Barry that Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
That's right. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We are on the radio Monday through Friday. That's right, Monday through Friday from midnight until 9 a.m. Midnight till 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. We are on 4 radio stations, AM 1470, 103.9 FM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9 FM. Yeah, that's right. Midnight till 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. Overnights on the weekends, midnight till 6 a.m. You can also listen to us on iHeartRadio and the TuneIn app. Both of those apps. Search for us by our station call letters WWNN. All right, let's go back to our phones. You are on the radio. Good morning.
Konnichiwa.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for taking my call. I was listening
Steve Kane Show.
to the conversation between you and Honorable Bus Driver Bob about...
No, you mean Richie. No, it's Richie the bus driver. I don't know who Bob... Bob's a builder and Richie's a bus driver.
Okay. And
Bob the
anyway,
builder.
the medical discussion there was rife with inaccuracies.
You know, this show is on fire today, and here you are coming in, you're bringing me down, you're bringing the show down. I need some energy, I need some excitement, I need some hot topics. Let's go, man. It's your personality. I had a full board of calls when I took your call. Someone just dropped off. I've got one opening on the board because you drove somebody off the phones. You're so terminally boring.
He unnecessarily or she unnecessarily was afraid to follow.
Talk about what's on the table right now. Mitt Romney, I believe, will become a Democrat. He's making a move to go to a broker Democrat convention and be the Democrat nominee for president. Go ahead.
America is something like 37th from the top of the list, according to the World Health Organization.
Oh, my gosh. Now I just lost another caller. I just lost another caller. You're costing me my callers. I just lost another caller because of you. You're clearing out the phone lines. Don't you? Man, you were radio dead. I just lost, the board's empty now. And you just cleared out the whole damn board of callers. What do you think about you and your call just cleared out the entire board?
Maybe they just want to listen after this.
No, maybe you are just boring. Maybe they were on cell phones and drove into a ditch or something, being hypnotized by your I don't know. I had a full board of calls. I took yours at random. I did not know it was you. And boom, 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 boom. Now the whole board is empty because of you. I got you now.
If you hadn't given me so many inaccurate things to address, that would...
No, they wanted to talk until they heard you, and you drove them away from the... What do you think about you emptied out the board of callers?
I wouldn't care to waste time.
Oh, you want to avoid that. You want to avoid that you are a repellent.
To stay on topic, which is that you're benefiting.
No, the topic right now is you and what you've done to my board of callers. What the hell?
His medical care would cost you a fraction.
No, before it was wrecked by Obama, it was affordable. It's quadrupled in price, courtesy of Obamacare. Thank you. I got to get this guy. Every line is now empty on the board. I had a full board of calls coming out of that break. I took him at random. I did not know it was him. I just took him at random. Boom. Caller dropped off within seconds, and then boom, 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 boom. Oh my goodness. What the heck? Wow. You know, that's interesting. We gotta consider whether or not that guy has a future on this program. I have never seen that happen before. I have never taken a call. That's not to say that people don't, you know, they get busy, they have to hang up, they get to their destination, they have to get to work. I understand all of that. I have never, in my experience, had a full board of calls, took one caller. I mean, it's not like, now if I'd have talked to him for 25 minutes maybe, but I was talking to him for less than 20 seconds, and I just saw the light started going off. I've never seen that before. That to me is a power that no chronic caller has ever had to a radio show before. I don't even know how to explain what that phenomena would be. Oh my goodness. Woo. I know, that's the guy from NPR, National Public Radio, the NPR sponsor, the public television member. Oh my goodness. All right. Can the show recover from that? It's like having Mark Scheinbaum on the air. Remember Mark Scheinbaum? There was this no-talent bore on the radio. His name was Mark Scheinbaum. And he was the most terminally boring person to ever host a 5-day-a-week radio show. He was so boring that he would hypnotize listeners. You would listen to him and you would become hypnotized. And we had this thing happen once. Some of you will remember. Remember Al Rantel? You guys remember Al Rantel, the great Al Rantel? Al Rantel was driving down the highway listening to Mark Scheinbaum. He not only missed his exit, he was hypnotized listening to him on the radio. He came out of the hypnosis. He was 5 or 6 exits past his exit because he was hypnotized. And we came up with this term to describe it as marcolepsy. Marcolepsy is that caller has that, he has that same quality that Mark Scheinbaum had. Oh my goodness. Oh. Can the show recover? I don't know. Good morning. You're on the radio. Yeah, it sounds like you.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I hung up because
Oh.
on topic.
Well, what about all the other callers? What about all the other callers? All the other callers that bugged out. All right. What did you want to talk about? Because
child support. I've got a daughter age, and I was just saying, I don't think he's a deadbeat dad.
Oh, what's your child support?
My child support was the same as his.
600.
He did it 10 years because, well, she lives with me now for the last 10 years. She was 5.
Yeah.
Her mother hasn't paid me a dime. Well, I gave her $600 a month.
Well, you're the father. You're the man. You shouldn't be, you shouldn't be getting paid from your ex-wife.
Well, when the mom left, they like the court decided they want to live on their own, and you know.
Oh, you're another one. You're another one. Listen, how old is
They gave her a percentage and me a percentage.
Uh-huh.
She didn't pay because they lived with her, so I paid. And then when the mother was unfit, they put her with me, and I can't.
Okay, are you a conservative? Are you a conservative? You're undecided. Do you support? See, these callers are so shell shocked they're afraid to answer. Do you support Donald Trump?
I don't vote. We've been.
You don't vote. You're afraid to say anything now. Okay, what is okay? Describe to me a traditional family in America. What is a traditional family in America? What would that consist of?
Not what mine was.
Don't listen. Don't be so shy. Don't worry. You'll be okay at the end of the call. A traditional family is made up of what?
Mother and father, children.
A mother, okay, mom, dad, and a kid. All right. What are the roles in a family? You've got a mom, you've got a dad, and you've got a kid. What is the traditional role that the mother and father play in a family? What are fathers referred to oftentimes?
Oh, the main supporter.
The breadwinner, right? Okay. So you and your wife split. Did your wife leave you, or did you leave her? Oh, okay. Yeah. What happened? Which one of you was having an affair? Neither one of you. People don't leave, especially women, unless they got something else lined up. Okay. So your wife split. You have to pay $600 a month in child support. You took your kid back because you didn't want to pay the child support, and you're griping because your wife wasn't paying you? Oh, all of a sudden we got a bad cell connection when we get the feet to the fire here. How convenient. I'm here to tell you this, that in a family, the role is that the mother raises the children. The father helps raise the children, but plays the double role as the breadwinner. And I wouldn't really think too much of a guy who was taking child support from his wife. I mean, that seems kind of weird to me. I'm not talking about what a court said O.J. Simpson didn't kill Ron and Nicole. I'm not talking about what a judge said in divorce court or what some scummy divorce lawyer told you. I'm talking about being a man. I don't think a man should be taking child support from his wife.
My traditional home nowadays is, in order to have a nice home with affordable housing, I think both parents need to work.
Let me tell you something. That father paying $600 a month in child support is a deadbeat dad. $600. How far does $600? How old is your daughter? How old is your daughter? 15. How far does $600 a month get you with your child? If you were given $600 a month, how far would that go to cover the expenses of raising her?
It would take every bit of it, of course.
Well, would it be enough? Does your child cost you more or less than $600 a month? And keep in mind, I'm talking about food, clothing, transportation, water, electricity, hair care products, since it's a girl.
Well, they must have came out of a household where it was only costing.
You said your child support was $600 a month, too. You must have had the same judge. What I'm telling you is that if you are divorced and you are a father paying child support and you're paying $600 a month, you're a deadbeat dad. You're a deadbeat dad. I'm not making assumptions. I have a kid. I know what it costs. That would make you a deadbeat dad. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm rich. Yeah, I'm rich. That's why I take no days off. I had to set up a listener cruise to get a week vacation every year. Yeah, come on. You know what I'm talking about? Well, that's how the cruise came to be. No, I'm not wealthy. I work for a living. All right. Sorry, a little dose of reality there. Huh? Oh, that's even worse. You got a woman pregnant. She bared your child and you didn't even marry her? Oh, my goodness. You're worse. You didn't even get married? A woman bared your child and you didn't marry her?
Because I knew it ended in divorce. We were split up. We were split up before she even gave birth to the child.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What an embarrassment. Oh, it's all her fault. It's all her fault. So what happened? You a sex assault victim? How did she get pregnant? All right, I got to run. We're late for a break. Oh, my gosh. Call Dr. Lemaski. You need therapy. All right, it's the top of the hour. Ed Pozzuoli is here. We'll take a break. Those of you on hold, stand by. Third and final hour begins right now.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Attention homeowners, this is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. I'm here to cut your electric bill and save you a lot of money. Perhaps even eliminate your electric bill altogether.
Yeah.
We do this by making your entire home energy efficient, by upgrading some or
won't
all
call
of
it.
the
Call
following:
tomorrow, man.
roofs,
Call tomorrow.
doors,
Steve
windows,
Kane Show.
insulating your attic, AC systems and ducts,
Hey, Jeff.
hot water heaters, and even adding solar. Energy efficient
Hold
improvement.
on. Steve Kane. Who's this? I got the lines mixed up. Hey, Jeff, hold on.
Electric bill pays for all or
Steve
part
Kane
of your
Show.
low monthly payments. The PACE program is government sponsored.
How you
Gives
doing?
Up to 30 years to pay. Requires no credit check, no money down, no income verification, no payments for up to 18 months. You only need to be current on your mortgage and
It shouldn't be
taxes
that
for the last
loud.
3 years to qualify. Energy savings
Okay.
and hurricane solutions made easy. Call 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500 to start saving money now.
Does your life insurance policy only pay
What's that?
someone if you die? The new
I don't know
life
where
insurance
Steve is. I
policies
talked to him a
allow you
while ago.
access your benefits even while you were still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own
Steve Kane Show.
shoes and custom
Steve
inserts.
Kane Show.
Medicare recipients are entitled to
Steve
one
Kane
pair
Show.
of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with over
Oh, my goodness.
$350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. Call the Siegel
Okay.
Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale.
When'd you tell him that? He didn't mention it to
and
me.
downtown Miami.
Oh.
1-855-FLA-3782.
He didn't tell me either way.
On Monday, I just heard something. You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1.
All right. All right. We are back. Third and final hour has begun. Ed Pozzuoli is here. Hey, Ed.
Good morning, South Florida. I'd like to wish everybody, all the lovers out there, a happy Valentine's Day next week. Because
Yeah.
I think our country could use a little love these days.
Our last 2 callers, though, they're lacking some. Well, that was a good week. We got the president acquitted at Great State of the Union. Things are going well. You know, things are going really well.
I think, it was kind of interesting. I took away from the State of the Union the other evening. If you watch the last 2 minutes of it, it was really a stark difference of what the two Americas are out there. On one hand, you have Trump summarizing in the last 2 minutes what the American exceptionalism is that nurtured such great inventors and statesmen and politicians like the Wright brothers, Edison, Frederick Douglass, Washington, Lincoln, the rugged individualism that settled and tamed the Wild West, the advancements in science and medicine that lifted millions out of poverty, a system of capitalism, freedom, that's overcome tyranny and fascism around the world. He concluded with that we are the most exceptional republic ever to exist. And that embodies all of the values of Western thought coming out of the Age of Enlightenment. And then you had Ms. Pelosi, on the other hand, that just decided to put an exclamation point on her vision of America, or shall I say anti-America, the anti-West thought, ripping up all of what American values are. And, you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and that summarizes the two Americas that's been going on in our culture over the last generation.
Yeah, Nancy, that ripping up of the State of the Union, I mean, I've never would have imagined. And then the way she threw it down on the desk when she was done in disgust.
It was obviously a statement. She did it precisely. She did it to the 3 cameras. And it was, not only was it an official document that should have been there, but like I said, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and it just shows you that they are after nothing but power.
Yeah.
They will do anything to seize that power. It was terrible against the institutions that this country represents, and it was just sticking a thumb in its eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
No other way to explain it.
Well, let's take some calls. Let's see what's going on. This is Jeff in Maine. You're on the radio.
I couldn't agree more with that last caller. This is about the vast difference in where our country is going. It's about government control and a few being in power, or the power going back to the people. And President Trump has put the power back to us, and he's going to be reelected.
Well, you know, Jeff, Nancy Pelosi she is old school party establishment. There's a photograph of her when she was in her 20s with President Kennedy while he was president. So, I mean, she goes way back to the Democrat power structure. And I've been talking about this for a long time. Donald Trump, to my knowledge, is the first president ever, and I'm going back to Washington, to not be a part of any political establishment. They've never had this happen before, and the world's been turned upside down because of it.
The New World Order has been interrupted abruptly.
Yeah, that's right.
That's been going on across the globe now, I think, for the last number of years. I think everybody's fed up with this, as you say, the New World Order, the political globalization that's happened, coming out of the Bushes, coming out of the establishment state where a few elites think they know what's best for everybody else. Through the World Council, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the United Nations, and the like. You see Brexit, you see Hong Kong out there, you see some of the other countries that are revolting against the collectivism that's out there. And that's what the fight is about. As you started off your statement, it's about individualism versus collectivism, and this has been a battle that's been going on for the last century in this country.
Yeah. What do you think about my theory that Romney's making a move to get that Democrat nomination? He's going to switch parties. What do you think, Jeff?
I do believe that, but I have a twist on that.
Okay.
Whoever they decide to nominate to run for president, they're going to run Romney as a vice president, saying, see, we're unifying. We're getting someone that hates Trump, and it would work better that way for him.
Now, I think it's going to... Okay. Hillary Clinton was on Ellen DeGeneres this week, and Ellen, who is very much a part of the establishment, and she's being punished because she was talking to George Bush at the World Series or something, so she's got to do penance. Ellen DeGeneres repeatedly asked Hillary Clinton if she would accept the nomination for vice president. Hillary refused to answer it. So I think the move is going to be Romney at the top and Hillary at the bottom. No, I'm not saying it's realistic that they're going to win. But I'm saying that that's Romney's move. That video that came out yesterday of him supporting abortion on demand, I've never seen that before. And this guy ran for president. Now, you know, for that video to come out after yesterday, it didn't come out to hurt him. It came out to soften up the Democrats to the idea of Mitt Romney.
But I don't think Clinton can be electable in any office. The Democrats are sick of her and Biden.
But they would Romney. Listen, you're dealing with two sociopaths, Hillary Clinton and Mitt Romney. I'm shocked at what Mitt Romney is really like. I supported him, and he was up at Wings Plus when he was running for president down the street. So You know, the thing with both of them are sociopaths. They're not sane. They're not seeing things realistically. Go back to Romney's address to the nation during the 2016 campaign. He thinks he is the savior of this country. He and Hillary Clinton holding hands together will unite the two parties against this casino reality star. That's what the move is.
You know, but Brian, Romney goes back. This is his legacy. This is who he is. He's a big government guy. He pushed the medical reform out in Massachusetts.
That's right.
He's been a statist. He's been more liberal than many of the Democrats that are out there. He's pushed for violation of individual rights, and he's been a phony as a Republican.
Well, yeah, Obamacare was based on Romney Care in Massachusetts. It was called Romney Care in Massachusetts. That's where the whole phrase Obamacare came from. He modeled Obamacare. Yeah. You know, it's amazing how fooled we were by him.
Some of us.
Come on. I didn't realize what a pathetic person he was and how petty. I mean, I knew. Listen, he was governor. A lot of people don't know. They assume because he's Mormon, he was governor of Utah. He was the governor of Massachusetts. You know, so how does a guy get elected to be governor of Massachusetts? What do they call it? The People's Republic of Massachusetts. All right, Jeff. Appreciate the call. You're on the radio. Good morning.
You know, an interesting thing, Brian.
Yeah, hold on, Colin.
He criticizes that Trump is a businessman, yet Romney's rise was really because he orchestrated the Olympics, and he did such a good job from the private sector of doing that. And that's what gave him some credibility.
Which I don't even know what he did with the Olympics. I thought that was more of a ceremonial job he had.
It might have been, but nevertheless, that's the way it was portrayed.
Yeah, and he was talking about his Bain Capital experience and all of that, you know. See, Romney is not a successful businessman. Romney came from a very well-connected family, and he was born, he's basically like a celebrity greeter, like Jeb Bush and some of these guys are when they get on corporate boards. Like Chelsea Clinton is on corporate boards.
He was actually worse. You know, his father, George Romney, who you know was governor of Michigan.
Yeah.
Back in 1966, he made a very telling statement. He came out and said, the age of capitalism is now over. It's now the age of consumerism. So this is what, Mitt has grown up with.
Yeah.
And once again, it's an anti-West, anti-capitalism mentality.
Uh-huh.
Where a small group of elite people know how, think they know what's best for everybody else.
You know, Trump retweeted that video ad of Mitt Romney saying he's a Democrat operative. And and he's been that way for a long time. And he finally, you know what it's like? It's like one of those sleeper agent spies in the movies. And now he's just come out. I'm here. I'm Mitt Romney. I'm really a Democrat who supports abortion and socialism. And I'm going. It's basically what's going on here.
Why doesn't anybody talk about his pseudonym that he came out with under the Twitter account?
Oh, Pierre Delecto. Pierre Delecto.
I mean, could you be any more phony than that?
Yeah. All right. Let's. And the Pierre's because when he did his Mormon thing, it was in France. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hi, Brian. Two things. The first thing I heard about, or I was reading the other day about the shadow app that they were using in Iowa, is that one of the major donors was George Soros. So we have to get rid of this guy as far as the funding and the tampering in our elections. I'm just shocked that nothing has been done about him yet.
Well, I'm not saying George Soros is a good guy, okay? But he's kind of become this boogeyman. Now, everything's George Soros. I'm not saying he's a good guy. Don't misunderstand me. But the app cost $60,000 to make, and Mayor Pete gave $40-some thousand to the company that spent $60,000 manufacturing the app. And it's an app that was used to tabulate votes in his election. So I mean, come on. I think getting Soros is a distraction when you look at Mayor Pete and his role there.
The other thing. Well,
and before that I was talking to a caller earlier about this. That's why before one vote was counted, he came out and declared victory because he knew the fix was in, and they didn't think they were going to have that glitch, and he came out right on time to declare victory.
Well, the other thing that I was also reading was that the reason why Romney was casting the vote against the president was that he also has ties to Ukraine. So
as does Pelosi and everybody else. Yeah, it seems to be. So what do you think about my Romney theory that Romney is making a move to switch parties and make a run?
What is it? There's a big meme called he's a trans Republican or something.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like, I feel like why would the president needs to be careful this upcoming.
All right, we'll appreciate the call. Now, listen, we'll take our break. Steve's getting here just on time. We'll take our break. We'll take our break. We'll be back. Ed Pozzuoli here, Steve KANE here. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Phones have been cooking all day. Not as busy as before I took that one particular caller who cleared out every line on the board. I think we got to think about discontinuing his participation. That was some effect that caller had on the phone board.
Never call you. Let him go too fast.
Steve, I had a full board. I took his call. Every caller hung up. As soon as the guy was on the line, he cleared out the board. I've never seen that effect before. All right, we'll take our break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Is it ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply
I left that check in there.
Implants.
It's on the phone board.
I want to introduce you to Brighton Dental Care.
It's made out
where the
to
Kane
you.
family goes for all our dental needs. Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve KANE listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000, but at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922-4633, 954-922-4633, and online at BrightonDentalCare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
95.3 FM.
This is the new spot for Troy I'm going to play now.
And AM 1470 WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
This is Steve KANE. I'm here chatting with Dr. Troy Lemaski, my personal chiropractor.
This is the one from
Dr.
yesterday.
Troy, how are you today?
Doing well, Steve.
Chiropractic is an art.
Very.
All the nerves in your body go through your spine. If your spine's out of line, the nerves get pinched, and of course you're going to have all kinds of symptoms and all kinds of pain as a result of that. And until you get that spine realigned, you're going to be in pain.
100% correct. If you have a joint, especially in your back, that's stuck, that's not moving properly, it will put pressure not only possibly on nerves, but more of the time
Right, Barry
on
Siegel.
tissue structures such as the ligaments, the muscles, and it will create pressure. There are nerves within the joint called
Hey, Barry.
mechanoreceptors, and they will affect the actual nerves
Okay, hold on.
that are in the joint. Pinch nerves are very common, and they do come from spinal misalignments, but not everybody that has a problem has a pinched nerve.
I've been seeing you for a relatively short period of time, and you have the healing touch, I'll tell you that. When I walk out of your office, I feel like a whole new person. I know you take great care of everybody, but I know you're going to go that extra mile for our wonderful Steve KANE listeners. Doctor, give them the number of the office where they can make an appointment.
It's Coast Chiropractic Injury and Wellness Center.
It came out pretty good.
954.
It came out pretty good.
463-3036.
You should hear the before.
954-463-3036. We're located in East Fort Lauderdale. We're just 1 block east of US 1 and Oakland Park Boulevard, right off Middle River Drive. The address is 2510 East Oakland Park Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale.
Dr. Troy Lemaski, a great healer. Make an appointment today.
Okay, Barry Siegel. Barry Siegel.
Radio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, and here he is, the man himself, one of the finest attorneys. In fact, I'm very close to Barry Siegel. I used to have a lot of friends that were attorneys, and then somehow I drifted off, and only a few remain, and they are the creme de la crop. And of course, when it comes to elder law,
Steve KANE Show.
and these kind of issues, end-of-life issues, the man you want to consult with, Barry Siegel, the Siegel Law Group. Barry, how are you today?
Good morning, Steve. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good.
Good. Steve, being an elder law and estate planning attorney, one of the issues I unfortunately run into quite often is running into people who suffer from mental incapacity, dementia, and Alzheimer's, and of course, it's a horrible thing, and we have to deal with those issues. Of course, we can't have people sign legal documents if they don't know what they're signing. So, of course, it's very important that people do their planning before any potential mental incapacity. We're proud that for the second year in a row we were sponsors at the Brain Bowl, which was a major charitable event that raises money for the research for Alzheimer's. And, as I said, it's a horrible, horrible thing. I've had family members. Most people who've been affected, many of you out there have been affected in one way or another by someone close to you suffering with this situation. So because we run into that so often and understand how to deal with these issues, and we also deal with many of the memory care facilities around town and all. So if this is an issue that's affecting anyone in your family, certainly it may not be too late to do whatever planning is necessary. Every case is different, but the bottom line, Steve, is people need to plan ahead, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Absolutely. There's no time like the present to deal with these matters. I'm going to give you Barry's number. Call his office, make an appointment, go in and get the answers to these questions, which are so vitally important. The number toll-free, 1-855-FLA, as in Florida. And the last four numbers, 3782. Put it all together, you got 1-855-FLA, 3782. Barry, great talking to you. We'll speak soon, all right?
Steve, take care. Have a great day.
Okay, and we are back with our friend Ed Pozzuoli.
Good morning,
All right, here we go, Ed. These are my favorite kind of shows. A lot of traumatic events have happened. The question that I want to hear from you, and then again, I'm asking you to speculate. Obviously, sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. Even I, on occasion, hard as it is to believe.
No, we're not wrong. We're just mistaken because we don't have
For the
all
moment.
facts. We are always right.
Exactly. Things haven't played out yet until they get like we predicted. But no, what I want to know is, where do we go from here? It's obviously a traumatic juncture in the history of this country. How do things play out in your imagination?
Well, we have the culmination of a lot of different things coming together at one time. Obviously, the impeachment proceedings has commanded the headlines. Before that, you had the Mueller report, which was obviously shown not to have any validity for what it was gone. We've had the Inspector General's report saying all the abuses of the Pfizer. I think while we've been like the magician's trick, look over here while something else is going on over there. Right. I think the Durham report and Barr have been quietly amassing a lot of information. Trump has given the authority for Barr to release much of the classified information that really shouldn't have been classified in the first place. And I think the timing of all this is going to come down to paint a picture, to connect the dots, to expose the fallacies and the untruths that have been put forth by the, shall we say, the other side.
The one thing that gives credence to what you're saying, I'm split. I've got mixed feelings on it. It is very, very logical to assume that obviously they're at some kind of end stage with these investigations, which are terminally going on forever. It is reasonable to assume that even if they had all the answers and were ready to go, they would wait until after the impeachment was over to announce it. That makes sense, right? Do we agree on that?
Absolutely. You don't want to mix up the news cycle.
But, yes, very well put. But the problem with that is, while it is possible, and if they release everything now, we can say that's probably what it was, but that's not a guarantee that it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, in a short order, I would say I've given up on this because
I think Trump is a master of disseminating the information on his terms on the amount that he wants to when he wants to. And I don't think it's going to be all of a sudden a complete a reveal of everything they found. I think they will systematically bring
they
out
got to
the
begin
information.
charging those FBI people who.
There's no question. I think more and more
Steve
people
Gaines
are
show.
beginning to see the lies that Brennan Clapper, Comey have put out there. Loretta Lynch is on the chopping block. Just yesterday, I think Christopher Wray was on, and then they were drilling him.
I'm not so crazy about Christopher Wray.
Neither am I. You know, I think that might have been a mistake.
Another one of these.
We'll wait and see.
The same mistake as when they put. Who's the first guy they put in there?
Sessions.
Sessions.
Well,
Trump has made a
meanwhile,
series of
Sessions
mistakes.
but misjudgments. Let's call them misjudgments because sometimes you tend to rely
What is
on
it
the
Shakespeare said?
credibility of other people.
A rose by any name would still smell as sweet.
You know, you only know it's a mistake in hindsight, but when you're making the decision, you're making it on the best of your knowledge that's given to you.
They were not good decisions. They, you know.
Well, let's just say he didn't get the proper knowledge.
He didn't get the right guys. What he didn't get.
You know, but he's figured it out in the last few years, and that's what's going to make his second term so much more. But, you know, as we talked about, I don't think there's any question that Trump is going to come in the second term, and I think he's going to come in not only with an electoral landslide, I think he's going to go after the popular vote also, and that'll create a mandate for him to tackle
That makes sense.
the more serious problems of the budget and everything else going forward. And the big election really for our country, for the future of our country, is going to be 2024, is where the vision goes, because it does take 2 generations to change a culture or change a philosophy of a country.
Well, I think
Steve Gaines show.
in the short term, which is not 2 generations,
Steve Gaines
but
show.
in the short term, I think we're going to see
Steve Gaines show.
a lot happen very quickly. Because I mean,
I agree.
It's hanging here. The nation would. First of all, you hear all this talk about, well, they're going to do it again and all this stuff. But you got to bear in mind, of the Democratic Party, they have to get a Democratic majority in the House. And I think after the beating these guys are going to take in the next election, I don't think the Democrats are going to be so quick to repeat the
They can't
phenomena.
get a Democratic majority on stage for a caucus. I mean, just look at that. That was the greatest Trump ad, is the inefficiency and the incompetence of what happened there.
All his ads are great. And you're right, when you look at some of the competitors, the Bloomberg ads, oh my God, you can thank us for stopping gun control, or starting gun control, or whatever they're trying to claim credit for. We got to take a break. If you would like to participate, just give us a call, 1-888-GO-KANE, KANE, 1. That's right, go 888-GO-KANE, KANE, followed by the last numeral 1. And we'll be back with your calls and Ed Pozzuoli after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Gaines tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike.
Boca is his main location. Boca is his main location. Boca. Glades Road near 95.
Online, friendlytire.net.
Do it right away.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel.
Would they work out that arrangement with Barry that he has?
Well, Barry's still getting gift certificates from Tavalla.
Yeah, but could he transfer to there?
know, I can't guarantee that, you know, Bert will advertise on the show. I mean,
Well, that's good.
Bert's political persuasions haven't really gotten deep into that, but I know it leads the other way.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised though these days. All right, Janet.
Just search for WWNN.
Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back, and
Yeah, hold on.
we'll be back with our special guest, Ed Pozzuoli, after we...
I got Janet Cimarelli from Save a Lot on the
Janet
lines.
Cimarelli from Save a Lot. Janet, how are you?
Fabulous this morning, and I just want to share with your listeners that I will be available at Save a Lot Nutrition Center from 11 to 3 today. And this evening, I am hosting a very special meeting. If people want to find out about time and place, come on in and see me at Save a Lot today. I am there, and I can go through your blood tests and tell you where you need to focus your dietary choices and your supplement choices. I will review your diet, show you where you might not be hitting the mark correctly, giving you all the guidance that you need to hit your targets with regard to health support. And I'm going to be talking this evening about glutathione. If you want long life, you want to know about glutathione and all of the different substances that support glutathione.
You know,
we know that glutathione depletes as you age, so you need C, selenium, all sorts of good antioxidants.
You know, this analyzing of blood work that Janet does is really, really effective. And she's been working with my daughter Adrienne, who is dealing with a severe case of RA, which is god-awful. And Janet has really been helpful in approaching it from a nutritional point of view. And by the way, we're going to be announcing in the next week or two, we've got a new company that does blood work. They are fabulous, brand new, spanking new, and with a lot of advantages that we haven't been enjoying with our past situation. So, Janet, tell them where they can find you if they want to go over blood work or anything.
Hey, if you want to bring in your blood work, sit down with me, come on in to Save a Lot, 15% off the entire store contents. All right, 1/2 mile south of Sample Road in the former Penn Dutch Shopping Plaza. It's in the city of Margate, and if you can't find it with those directions, you can call this number, 754-307-1655. 754-307-1655.
Janet, thank you so much, and we will speak soon, all right?
We will. Have a wonderful day.
You too. We are back with Ed Pozzuoli.
You know, Steve, Janet is an example of the small businessman that is thriving under the economy that we have today. And
I got to tell you, business is unbelievable.
It's off the charts. The deregulation that's happened, obviously the reform in the taxes. But everybody needs to know if we move towards a more collectivist society, a top-down approach, people like Janet will disappear in the private sector, and everything will be government-run.
And you have no idea how many jobs, in the overall scheme of things, people like Janet and me, we're also small business.
The private sector creates the bulk of this country.
Exactly.
It's what's made America great.
You want to take a call here?
Sarah in Colorado first.
Sarah, how are you?
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm good. How are things going in Colorado?
Well, I just wanted you to know, I just got back from, I was on another cruise recently,
Show.
Oh, you
so
lived the
I
life.
just got back from home as of Tuesday, and it was really good. Can't wait for the next one. It'll be awesome.
It's going to be fabulous. Do you know what Dr. Lemansky was yesterday was talking about you? We were talking about the cruises, and she asked about you. I told her you were doing great.
Well, I was going to say that I think the theory of Mitt Romney could happen.
Oh, yeah.
you know, that's a very interesting thing. And I wanted to say that victory was ours yesterday, big time, because the acquittal. We all knew that was coming. But the other thing I want to say is that if you come to this show, on this show, and you like this show, that's awesome. I love this show. I love how you guys are real. I love how you take each call and you do your best to see who's true and who's not and all that kind of stuff. And for those that are in the chat room, we're very lucky that we have a chat room and we're able to chat. And I am going to say this, and I might be mean to some, but if some of you want to make a call and talk to Brian or Steve on issues, you should call in, because there is some rude things that I've seen, and we're all not perfect, and we are going to try to make it through this every day. And some people use race cards, bet cards for complaining and all that kind of stuff. Look, my grandfather fought in World War II. I had a friend of mine that was a Navy SEAL. You know, he's gone now, you know, but I love how you guys are very real with this show. And I'm proud to support it, and I always will be, and I'll always call in when I can, and I love you guys, and I thank you every day for this show, because you are real, and for those that, so just call in, guys.
Our critics.
All right,
Our critics.
Call in.
I thank you for your kind words, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's people like you that have made this show a success over 40 years now.
Long,
But you
long
know,
time.
one thing, Steve, that.
Thanks, by the way, for calling, Sarah.
That she brought out was that our country is truly a bottom-up approach, and it's an organic approach. And you guys do exemplify that kind of openness, as opposed to the top-down approach, a centralized message that comes from.
You're very kind too.
You want to take some more calls? Maybe we can find someone not so complimentary.
We're looking for some enemies here to fight with, for heaven's sake.
Let's find out.
You could have had a real fight on your hands with that other guy.
Which one?
But the one who ran
Steve Kane
away,
show.
the one who cleared the board.
Oh, I guess I was just annoyed by him too much.
Yeah, but
You're talking about the public television sponsor. Maybe you could clear the phones for like a whole week.
it's not his job to keep the phone callers on. It's your job to keep
Okay,
the phone
all right.
callers on.
Want to take some?
Using him to do it.
Okay. Well, you want to take some calls?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yes, hi, good morning. I'd like to ask, I would like to bring up something that you talked about the last 5 minutes of the show yesterday about the South Florida radio stations and Joyce Faulkner.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you something? Okay.
Of course.
It was 2 days ago that they cut her back to 1 hour. I mean, they did the same thing to Michael Savage on that show. They cut him from 3 to 2 to 1 hour, then they canned him. So they're probably going to do that next to Joyce. And here's what I was calling to ask you. What do you think about, would you consider bringing Joyce as the next show after yours on your station? If you have any pull to do that? And make it like an old-time lineup of you guys and Joyce and maybe Rick Stevens.
Well, we get that all the time of people wanting to recreate the old WFTL, which was probably the greatest radio station to ever exist. The conditions in the market are totally different now than they used to be. If you're asking me, would I think she would be good playing the same role she did at the old WFTL? Absolutely. I mean, that's her Joyce's forte. She's going to have to get back to how she really feels, which is liberal. And then, Brian and I, and we can all debate and have fun and excitement. But unfortunately, the economics of the radio business now are different than they were. And I'm up to be a program director again when somebody comes to me with $1.5 million, something like that, and a station. And then I can start hiring some of the people that we used to talk to.
You know what, your show, the only show that's left that you could call in and you take all these calls. They don't do that any of these other shows. They're all lukewarm. They suck, the rest of these shows.
It's true.
That's left.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what? It's interesting. I like getting off on discussions of talk radio and so, but you can tell. Listen to we break a lot of the rules. One of the rules we break is we talk about it in the shows. No other station does, and they just don't know. They don't have a sense of the business. For example, I listen to desperately to QAM trying to find something that's listenable, and in the midst of all this grief that's going on with the Republicans and the Democrats and the impeachment and all this kind of stuff, I tune over there and they're talking about, giving raises for teachers or something. They don't have a sense of what it's about, of the drama, of the importance of what material to be dealing with that the people want to hear, not just a what would you call it? A public relations show?
Yeah,
It's all just
pretty
blah,
much.
blah, blah. It's canned talk that's out there. They're not getting to the issues because they're afraid.
And they're
of
afraid
offending
to
people.
really fight, and they're afraid to
of
really...
offending people.
Yes.
And you are reaching into what the real issues are, and digging
And you
down to
can't
the
do that
principles.
without offending.
Hey, caller, because this thing with Joyce getting, get her show cut back to 1 hour a day. Was this dealt with on the air, or just as a listener you observed it over there?
Observed it because
Yeah.
I really have. I listen to your show all the time, and I always listen to Joyce. And then I used to listen to Savage. Same exact thing. In fact, one time I called up when they did this to Savage, when they canned him, I called up over there, and I got one of the guys, I don't know, one of the people I talked on the phone, and they said, we're not supposed to say anything, but everybody's really ticked off that they got rid of.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, now I just to throw this out, some of what they've put on over there, including the Ben Shapiro show. My, I know. Can you imagine? Take Savage off, you put on Shapiro. This would be my guess. My guess. A lot of these syndicated shows like Ben Shapiro and Dana Loesch and things like this don't cost the station anything. They have to give commercial availability to the show.
That's why they're there.
So they put them on because they cost them nothing.
And are worth every penny of it.
I think they're overpaying it nothing, quite frankly, because they're alienating their audience for what listenership they have left. It's an abuse of the audience.
Sir, I thank you for your call. Very astute. You want to say something?
Oh, I let him go. We got a break, Steve. We're running late.
Let's take a break. We're running late. We'll be back.
Break
Steve,
here. Conservative
it's time for the gold report. Hold on.
Tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
Two bald guys in the back of my Infinity. So I called them up, and I feel like I really check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price? Half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
No, see, the thing is with the certificates, the reason I ask about that is because as long as Barry's doing certificates, they get like free advertising. So I'd like to turn it over to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Hey there. Oh, do I have you?
Starting at just $30 for most sizes, but you bought new tires and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal.
What kind of food is it?
Warranty on the tires. That's great.
Oh, well, that's the best.
They never charge you to mount the tire. Balance the tire.
Yamato and Boca and military.
That's my son's place. That's crazy. Ralph just got to see, Coral Springs, Lighthouse Point, Aventura, Boca.
Oh, I've eaten there. I know what you're talking about.
I want to talk about
The food is, Steve, I mean, the food is good. Very good.
Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if
Steve
you
Kane
die?
Show.
The new life insurance policies allow you to have
Steve Kane Show.
benefits even while you were still alive. Due
Yes.
to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers
Well,
in
we're gonna
2020
That's okay.
adjusted their premiums to their advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables.
Okay, hold on.
People are living longer
Okay, what's your name?
and that means life insurance premiums
Oh,
are
Henry Chu.
lower.
Okay, we got
Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080.
We got, Youngerman.
To learn more and for a free review
No, Youngerman.
of your existing
Youngerman.
life insurance policy, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, the exciting time has come. Not that it hasn't been exciting up till now, because it has. But nothing excites me like the precious metals. And each day at this time, we are privileged to have William Youngerman of William Youngerman, Inc. He is one of the leading numismatic dealers. That's what it means: coins, gold, silver, precious metals. And each day at this time, he gives us a report on the state of the market. William, how's it looking?
Gold's looking good. In fact, the metals are looking very good after that nice little buying opportunity we had a couple days ago with gold dropping some $60 from the highs, giving our Steve Kane listeners a great buying opportunity, which they took advantage of in many cases.
Gold has now recovered about $15 or so from the lows that we saw, $17. Gold closing out yesterday up $2.90.
Oh, no. We are disconnected.
That's okay. I'll call him back.
Okay. Meanwhile, we'll ad lib as we wait to get reconnected. He was just getting to the good part. Platinum, that's what I've been following of late.
Well, that's a great thing. You know, our currency is such a fiat currency; it's not backed by anything.
Yeah.
That we need to go towards the gold and
Exactly
precious metal
right.
standards.
And when you see and the nice part about it is sometimes when you see these days in the market where the market's way off, you always check in gold, and sure enough, they moved that from the market into the precious metals.
No, we got you back.
We'll tell you one thing.
We got him back.
All right, we're back. Okay, all right.
We lost you somehow.
Sorry about that. Let's pick up where we left off.
Okay, where are we?
We were transitioning from gold to platinum.
Okay, so anyway, we saw yesterday's closes on gold up $2.90 at $15.55.60 close. Silver was up a penny at $17.56 the ounce, while platinum closed up $20 yesterday at $982.
Holy cow.
Palladium was down $3 at $23.15. A continued follow through on gold and silver this morning, with gold up another $9 at $1,564.60 the ounce. Silver up 25 cents at $17.82. Platinum down $4 after yesterday's nice $20 gain at 978 right now. And palladium down $23 at $22.92. So the metals bounced off strong support this week and have given us a buying opportunity, but still well below the over $1,600 number we saw a few weeks ago. That gives us a great challenge to take advantage of this dip and buy, as I think we will be pushing through the $1,600 number on gold very soon.
Wow. Well, it's all very exciting, and of course, nobody better to deal with than William. William Youngerman has been advising clients on trends and movement in the precious metals markets. 53 years, a good long time. 16 or 17 of those years on the Steve Kane Show. So, William, also want to mention briefly that you not only sell the precious metals, you also buy. If people have anything made of precious metals that is just sitting around gathering dust, turn it into cold hard cash. William, tell them how it works.
Certainly, we've got, for over 50 years, we've made a strong two-way market in all of the precious metals and rare coins. And so anything you've got in the way of precious metals, regardless of the form that it's in, we actually had some silver statues come in recently that we were able to help people divest themselves of. And so just about anything of the precious metals, we'll be happy to make you a cash offer on. And of course, all of the rare coins and precious metals that are on our website, we have in stock for immediate delivery. So come on in and check us out.
All right, William, located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank of America building on the first floor. You can reach him by phone from anywhere at 1-800-327-5010, or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com. William, have a great day. We'll speak tomorrow, all right?
Okay, have a great day. Bye.
You take care. And we are back with Ed Pozzuoli. You want to take the...
Well, Richie wanted to talk to Ed about something. Richie, the bus driver.
I'm glad you made it, because I got nervous for last week when you didn't show up Friday. I said, I hope you're okay.
Oh, everything was good. I thought there was an issue in the studio. That's why I didn't make it last week.
The whole weekend I said, geez, I hope he's okay. But here's what I want to bring up. The Republicans, including the President of the United States, I don't know what they're afraid of. listen, since Steve knows that we've always looked at the Soviet Union, and it's been communism. There's been a national communist party in this country. They call themselves, I believe, the National Socialist Party of America. 2012, they wrote in their own writings, they couldn't get elected in this country under communism, so they decided to go into the Democratic Party as socialists. And the fact of the matter is that President Trump should just say, listen, we will never have communism, because the Democrats are really communists at this point. Half of their party has been hijacked.
Well, there's a lot to be said for that.
You know, Richie, that brings up, this has been going on not just under Trump and not even under Obama. This started way, way before, for the last 100 years. I'd like to read you a quote that's very apropos to what you just said. It was said by Antonio Gramsci, who was an Italian political philosopher, a communist, back in the early 1900s. And he said, socialism is precisely the religion that must overwhelm Christianity. In the new order, socialism will triumph by first capturing the culture via infiltration of schools, universities, churches, and the media, by transforming the consciousness of society. Now, that's been going on 100 years, and as I said, it happened long before Obama said we are going to fundamentally change America. Earlier, it was done by tyrants, and it was called censorship. We call it political correctness now. They called it indoctrination. We call it public education today. They call it propaganda, and Trump aptly named it the fake news.
The fake news.
So this has been going on for a long time. There's been a slow creeping, and we're going to wake up one day, as Nikita Khrushchev said one day, we don't need a revolution to take over America. America's going to wake up one day and find out that we're
not a Democrat, and they want to just label him a communist.
All right, thank you for your call. Moving on, let's go to...
No, that's it, Steve. That's it. I told you that other caller was just, you know.
Well, you can't blame that other caller for that call. That was, what's his name?
Yeah, that was Richie. Yeah, I know.
This Richie sometimes gets a little intense when... So what do you...
You know, we got some new things going on. I would like to just mention that my son has, recently joined up with the Rappaport group and has taken over the Praiser restaurant up in Boca Raton on Military Trail, just north of Yamata Road. And we've got some great entertainment coming in there tomorrow night with Jamelia Hall and the Jorge Garcia Band. And anybody that's up in the Boca neck of the woods should stop by tomorrow night at Praiser, PREZZO.
We should have given us more notice. We could have given them a big welcome.
Well, that's my welcome, and likewise, I'd like to give a shout out to my other buddy who has a number of restaurants also, Ralph DeSalvo, who owns all the Sicilian ovens around the area.
Right.
So that's it's a great place, great casual place to go eat also.
Oh, I have. It's spectacular.
Good pizza.
Oh, man.
It's hard to find good pizza this side of New York.
It is, but you know what? It's a good place, and he's in a number of locations throughout your listening area. So.
Well, we'll have to sit down and talk.
I will refer him up to you.
Oh,
man, this has just been a great week. President acquitted.
Yeah, and it's
State of the Union.
It's going to only get better. What do you see short term? Big events.
I think he's coming out today with a press conference. I think he's going to,
Otherwise known as a victory lap.
All the goodness that's happened, put this behind. We know that the impeachment and the negative positions of the Democratic Progressives is not going to.
Well, you know what? He's doing a press conference. One of the first questions, if not the first, is going to be his response to Nancy tearing up the State of the Union speech. And then from there, it's just going to boom.
I know the answer to that question already.
Great.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about her disdain for the process and the president.
Like the nice lady, the young girl who got the scholarship and all the.
Or how about the girl that was alive that they were sitting on their hands for that she survived? That girl was born in 5.
The fact that they did not applaud many of the wonderful things that America has provided, the most generous country that's ever existed. And like I said, that picture's worth 1,000 words with Nancy tearing up what Western thought and Western values
Well, can we
and
count
what
on you
American
next
is.
Friday? Can we count on you next Friday?
Next Friday, I'll be here with bells on.
Weekly update.
Okay.
That does it for today. We thank you for joining us, folks. Until
Tomorrow is Friday, yeah.
I was wishing my week away here. Till Friday, or no, all right, let's try this one more
Till
time.
tomorrow.
Till tomorrow, which is Friday. All right. Yeah, good.
And happy Valentine's Day again to all the lovers out
And
there.
all that good stuff. God bless America.
Attention homeowners.
All right, guys,
This is
take care.
Scott from Cut My